It's Wednesday, November 12th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, who is in the running in PEI's latest by-election? Your top news headlines just ahead.
And the Dartmouth Makers, their 10th annual winter market is coming up just a few weeks. It's a perfect place to check people off your gift list. We'll get a preview a little later this morning.
And 'tis the season for spending. We'll chat with a certified financial planner to get practical tips that won't leave your bank account looking redder than Santa's suit. That's in our second hour. All that and so much more on the Wednesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. Come on in. Wednesday, November 12th. You've made it to the halfway point of the week already. Nearly the halfway point of the month already, if you can believe that.
Wild.
And that, for those of us who, get gifts for others during the holiday season, chop, chop.
Yeah, basically. I got to get on it.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. I was saying to my husband yesterday, I want to get all the Christmas shopping done kind of like by the end of November and even have stuff wrapped. And he thought I was crazy, but...
No.
Oh, that's practical.
It's practical. Well, stuff's selling out quickly, I've noticed. And what I love is just if that happens, and it's a bit of a, pipe dream, but if that happens... Then the whole holiday season, you can just actually lean into it. Have cozy hot chocolate time, watch movies.
Yeah,
sounds
like a dream to me.
That is key. I find I used to be a very hard, December 1st, that's when I'm going to start marking it. That's when I'm going to start celebrating shopping. But we have so many family members, and those costs add up very quickly. I do not like to spend all at once, and I feel better I can enjoy the season where I'm not as stressed.
Yeah.
There's not that pressure, and I'm not just buying whatever. But, coming up later in the show, we're going to have a financial planner join us with some great advice, because this is the time of year a lot of people do their shopping, but not to just overspend.
Yeah, and gift ideas coming up in the 7 o'clock hour too. So we've got you covered if you want to get a jump start on your holiday stuff.
Absolutely.
If you want to leave the house, from my experience, I'll say maybe throw an extra layer on today.
Do not leave the house today.
Just don't leave the house.
Stay home, call it a sick day or whatever you want. No, honestly, when you are heading out, bundle up. It's feeling quite cold right across the region and pretty windy as well early this morning. Here's a live look at St. John's, Newfoundland. A beautiful start to your day. You're actually going to see one of the warmer temperatures early this morning. 9 degrees starting off your day. And you do have a chance of some showers moving in across the province today. Just keep that in mind when you are heading out. Here's a look at our current temperatures. You can see some temperatures have fallen below seasonal and below the freezing mark. -1 starting off your day in Fredericton, as well as into Moncton, St. John, New Brunswick. 1 degree in Charlottetown, with 2 in Sydney, 0 in Halifax, and -5 over in Labrador City. Still holding on to some watches and warnings for parts of Newfoundland. We do have that wind warning that remains in effect, and we do have a snowfall warning. The rainfall warning in Labrador just ended, and we are still expecting mixed precipitation heading your way. For the Maritime region, starting off with a chance of flurries and a chance of showers for parts of the region. Newfoundland, Labrador still seeing snow and a chance of showers moving in for both provinces. Here's a look at our current wind. Early this morning, 56 kilometers per hour in North Cape, with 35 in Grand Etang and in Canso, 43 in Greenwood, 35 in Lunenburg, 39 into Yarmouth. Wind gusts as of now, we're seeing 72 kilometers per hour in Yarmouth, 67 in North Cape, 59 in Grand Etang, 39 in Halifax. We'll have a look at your midweek forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. And because of the weather, some ferry crossings in the region are canceled today. Northumberland Ferry says planned crossings at 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. out of Wood Islands, PEI, are canceled. The company has also canceled the 8:30 a.m. and 11:45 a.m. trips out of Caribou, Nova Scotia. While they say they will monitor the forecast to ensure other sailings can depart when scheduled. And Marine Atlantic has canceled the sailings between North Sydney and Port aux Basques at the times you see there: 6:30 a.m., 11:45 a.m., and 5:45 p.m. PEI Liberal leader Robert Mitchell will run in the province's by-election for the Georgetown seat. Mitchell served as an MLA from 2007 to 2020 and has held cabinet positions such as health minister. The by-election was called after former cabinet minister Stephen Myers resigned in October. Voters will head to the polls on December 8th, and the deadline for candidate nominations is November 21st. Boston's newly elected mayor will wrap up her 4-day tour of Nova Scotia today. Later this morning, Michelle Wu will be in Lunenburg County for the annual Boston tree cutting ceremony.
It was important for me to be here this year to bring a direct thanks on behalf of the people of Boston and to express that we stand strong in our commitment and in our friendship in the good times, in bad times, and also recognizing the importance of this relationship that connects to our economic success as a region, our shared history as important coastal port cities, and as continued friends.
And here are images from last year's ceremony at the Boston Common. The tree has been an annual gift to the city as a gesture of thanks for support after the Halifax explosion in 1917. Wu arrived in town over the weekend and also participated in Remembrance Day activities yesterday in Halifax. Now, before the tree is trucked to Boston, it will be cut later this morning at a ceremony with officials and onlookers in attendance. So here's a reminder of what the 45-foot white spruce looks like. It is in Lunenburg County. It was nominated by the former property owners Ronald and Claire Feener. The ceremony will begin at 10:30 a.m. in Martinsbrook. CTV's Katie Kelly will MC, and we will have more coverage tonight on CTV News at 6. Walking is good for your health, but how about a month-long loop around Prince Edward Island? CTV's Maria Saru caught up with some Canadians making the trek to find out what they learned along the way.
Boots on red soil and one step after another. Veteran Sheldon White finished part of the Island Walk this fall, a 707-kilometer loop around PEI as a personal challenge.
The military experience helped a little bit because I was familiar with going on long marches, but it was more challenging than I expected.
White flew airlifters for search and rescue and served a tour in Afghanistan before returning to the island to teach engineering. The former commander says out here, the mission is simple but not easy.
Walking for 5 hours straight without a break is actually fairly hard, and then to do that multiple times. I have a lot of respect for the people who've done the entire walk.
Much of the Island Walk runs right here on the Confederation Trail. Some tackle it by foot, others by bike, with many finding hard-earned healing along the way.
It's been a hell of a trip.
Sandra Cernowski from Winnipeg walked for 32 days, carrying profound personal loss.
I wanted to find out who I was after my husband passed away, after his battle with cancer.
All around, there were signs he was walking with her.
So this penny here, can you see it? There was a day on the trail and I looked down and I found a penny. I picked it up and I looked really close and it said 1972 on it. And my husband was born in 1972.
Bryson Guptill created the Island Walk in 2019 after finishing a couple long treks in Europe. He wanted to give Canadians the experience closer to home.
When you walk for over a month and you're carrying everything you own on your back, it's a very, very cleansing experience.
Back on the road, White aims to finish the walk next year. Maria Saru, CTV News, Charlottetown.
Thank you, Maria. Finally, did you see the Northern Lights last night, or maybe even early this morning? If you didn't, we have these photos to cover you. Stunning images taken by viewer Brian Muldoon in Brooklyn, Nova Scotia. Now, experts say a wave of powerful solar storms is lighting up skies across North America this week. So the eruptions mean the Northern Lights could be visible as far south as California and Alabama. We've even heard reports of some people seeing it in the Halifax area overnight as well. Man. You certainly have to be a good photographer to really capture that image.
I've always missed it. I've never seen the Northern Lights.
I know.
Even living out in like nowhere land in Saskatchewan, I was like, how come I've never seen it?
I know. Me, same. I feel the exact same way. But someday I want really, like, that's on the bucket list.
Well, I mean, look out tonight, because you still might be able to see it tonight. Well, it's so early in the morning, so much later for us. But yeah, and if you're a viewer and you saw them, send us a text, 10400. We would love to see your images.
Oh, yeah. To see your images. Yeah, we'd love that. Okay, speaking of images, researchers are taking a closer look at images from the skin to see how salt and sweat work together to keep us cool. This is actually interesting. A few years ago, scientists at Arizona State University created a first-of-its-kind outdoor sweating mannequin named Andy to better understand how the body cools itself. There's Andy. The next phase of the project is to use real human subjects wearing a specialized heat suit that uses a little micro camera to zoom in super close and watch how the sweat glands turn on and off. And then it turns out our sweat evaporates 3 times faster than we originally thought, and it leaves salt deposits behind. So it's the salty sweating process that actually cools us down. So here's the implication. Scientists haven't reached conclusions yet. They're still working on it, but they're looking at ways to actually prevent heat stroke in people. And they're saying one key might be, listen to this, not taking showers when you're sweaty and hot might actually help it cool off faster because it's the salt on there that has something to do with the cooling.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
And that's why skin tastes salty.
Well, yeah, for sure. And it kind of reminds me, like, after a big workout, running or the gym or whatever, sometimes I'm really sweaty and I don't have a shower right away. I find I get a real chill. We call it, if you got the chill after that. And that might be something to do with the sweat.
I'd also get devastation because I'm dirty and stinky.
Well, I know, and your first instinct is to have a shower, but when I don't, like if I prolong the shower because I'm super hungry and have to eat or whatever, I'm like, I get a really cold chill.
Yeah.
So there might be something to this.
Wow, could be something to that. Yeah, that's true. Well, coming up next, I'll have your first look at your national and international news headlines on this Wednesday morning, and Latavia will have more details on the cold daytime highs today. Before you know it, Rotary Park's going to have that nice ice skating surface. This is just right outside the Avenir Center in downtown Moncton. Then we'll have the forecast coming up next.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 6:14. We're taking a live look at Yarmouth. A cold start to the day. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. Currently 3 degrees and expecting a chance of showers and/or flurries early in the morning, clearing into the afternoon. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. A cold start to the day right across the board. Something to keep in mind when you are heading out today. As of right now, it is 0 in Fredericton, as well as into Charlottetown and Halifax. 2 degrees starting off your day in Sydney. -5 in Labrador City. 7 degrees in Gander and St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a wind warning that remains in effect for parts of Newfoundland. Could see wind gusts of 80 to 100 kilometers per hour, as well as a snowfall warning in effect. Snow at times heavy today, expected around 15 to 20 centimeters of snowfall accumulation. The rainfall warning has now ended. Here's a look at our forecast timeline. We are still seeing mixed precipitation for parts of the region early this morning. Some heavier snow and showers for Newfoundland and Labrador. And then into the afternoon, a bit clearing for the Maritime region, leaving some sunshine, looking at a mix of sun and cloud for parts of all 3 Maritime provinces. Still seeing snow and wet snow tracking across parts of eastern Nova Scotia, Cape Breton Island, Prince Edward Island, starting to see those clouds clear out and taking us into the evening and overnight hours. Another low makes its way over across the Maritime region, bringing a chance of showers back around and periods of rain for parts of the region into Thursday afternoon. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, going to remain quite light from now until early Thursday morning, only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters across mainland Nova Scotia and to the southwestern region. And then for Labrador, looking at around 5 to 20 millimeters of precipitation and seeing 2 to 20 for parts of Newfoundland as well. 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall accumulation for parts of Cape Breton Island and also into parts of Newfoundland, 5 to 10 for parts of Labrador City. And then into our forecast today for New Brunswick, looking at a chance of flurries early in the morning, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon, wind gusts of up to 50 still, really cool temperatures for our daytime highs. As of right now, we're seeing for Prince Edward Island, highs between 5 to 6 degrees. Starting off the day with a chance of showers and/or flurries, clearing, also seeing sunshine into the afternoon, wind gusts of up to 70. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing applies, looking at a chance of showers and/or flurries, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. For the rest of Nova Scotia, same thing. Mixed precipitation early in the morning, a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon, wind gusts of up to 60. For Labrador City, looking at a high of -4 today, snow throughout your day, and 9 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland, a chance of showers throughout your day as well. So into Thursday, this is when we start to see temperatures really beginning to cool down as we inch towards the end of the work week. We are going to see precipitation return and a chance of showers, but we are going to see periods of rain, at times heavy, return to Cape Breton Island and also into parts of Newfoundland. And then into the evening hours, another low right behind it, bringing a chance of showers yet again into our forecast for Friday. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thanks, Latavia. Top diplomats from the G7 countries are gathering in Ontario today and tomorrow. Canadian Foreign Minister Anita Anand is hosting U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and their counterparts from Britain, France, Germany, Italy, and Japan. Anand also has invited the foreign ministers of Australia, Brazil, India, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, South Korea, South Africa, and Ukraine. The meeting comes after the U.S. ended trade talks with Canada when the Ontario provincial government ran an anti-tariff advertisement.
Meeting global challenges requires global partnerships. The issues we are facing transcend the G7 and our borders. And this is why it is absolutely vital that we have diverse geographic representation around the table.
Today, broader discussions began with the collective, and Anand is set to meet one-on-one with Mark Rubio. A chaotic scene at another global summit, the United Nations COP30 climate conference in Brazil. Dozens of protesters clashed with security guards as they tried to force their way into the summit's main venue. There were no serious injuries reported. Ghislaine Maxwell, who is serving 20 years for trafficking underage girls for convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, is reportedly preparing a request to the Trump administration for clemency. And there are also allegations she's getting special treatment behind bars. CTV's Joy Malbin has more.
Outside this prison camp in Texas, Ghislaine Maxwell is reportedly working on her freedom. The convicted sex trafficker plans to ask President Donald Trump to commute her prison sentence. That's according to the top Democrat on the congressional committee investigating Jeffrey Epstein's criminal network. Congressman Jamie Raskin says a whistleblower detailed that and a list of Maxwell's prison perks, from playing with puppies to computer use.
The whistleblower made clear that Ghislaine Maxwell is just in a completely different category than every other prisoner. She gets essentially room service behind bars. She can use the shower. She can use the gym whenever she wants to.
The family of Virginia Giuffre are horrified. In Virginia's posthumous memoir, she called Maxwell a sexual predator who trafficked her to rich and powerful men, alleging the former Prince Andrew sexually abused her when she was just a minor.
If King Charles can strip Andrew of the prince title over just affiliations, why is our president not definitively ruling out a convicted sex trafficker of minors, of children?
Donald Trump's lawyer interviewed Maxwell in federal prison last July after she claimed President Trump was not involved in any illegal activities. Maxwell was suddenly transferred to this prison camp. Congressman Raskin claims the whistleblower says the warden there is helping Maxwell apply for her freedom.
Ghislaine Maxwell is actively seeking a commutation, a pardon from the president right now.
The White House says it doesn't comment on potential clemency requests, but the president has said before of Maxwell that he has not ruled out a pardon.
CTV's Joy Melvin reporting in Washington. And staying stateside, new travel frustration for many in the U.S., even with an end in sight to the government shutdown. The Federal Aviation Administration reduced flights by 6% to help with staffing shortages because of unpaid traffic controllers who are not coming into work. That will increase to 10% of flights by the end of this week. The Senate has passed a deal to fund the government through January 30th, and a vote in the House is expected today. It is the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. A quick break. When we return, we'll have your must-see moment from our colleagues at TSN, Your Morning Atlantic. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
actually know who those guys are.
Right?
The era when I used to do sportscasting. Amazing. And speaking of sports, time to check in with our friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Adam Scully here inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for it, we're heading to Boston. Bruins taking on the Leafs. Check out the passing play to spring David Pastrnak on the breakaway. Walks in, undresses Dennis Hill to beat. Great setup from his teammates. And an even better finish by Pasta for his 400th career goal, making him the 6th Bruin to ever reach the milestone. He would score again later for Boston's 7th straight win. That is your must-see moment. NBA action tonight on TSN as the Knicks host the Magic. New York is a perfect 5-0 so far on its 7-game homestand. Coverage starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
Taking a look at our 3-day forecast for New Brunswick, looking at some isolated flurries, clearing into the afternoon, leaving sunshine with a high of 4. 6 degrees on Thursday, looking at a mix of sun and cloud. We do have some isolated showers for the central region of the province. And then on Friday, cooling down to 2 degrees and lots of sunshine across the province. Nova Scotia also seeing a chance of showers and or flurries, clearing into the afternoon, leaving sunshine with a high of 7. On Thursday, we're looking at a mix of sun and cloud, but we do have periods of rain for Cape Breton. And then on Friday, a high of 3, isolated showers, leaving a mix of sun and cloud for parts of the province into the afternoon. Prince Edward Island looking at a high of 5, mixed precipitation expected across the island, clearing into the afternoon, leaving sunshine. Thursday, a high of 5 with showers, and isolated showers return on Friday, cooling down to 3 degrees.
Oh my gosh, it's like my birthday gifts never end. Hungry like the wolf? Thank you, Control Room. Coming up this morning, chat, we're talking about concerts that, you know, we've been to many times, the person we'd love to see the most. That's in about 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic. I'm sorry, girls, I'm flustered.
It's a good one.
You don't need an alarm clock.
No.
Just need some Duran Duran.
Yeah, that's Duran Duran, yeah. I'm sure you must have that song in your life. I mean, the Hungry Like the Wolf is not that song, but it's just a song.
Oh, yeah, it's a classic.
It's a juicy one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you girls have that, too.
I've heard, yeah.
What would be for you if you just popped it on right now? It would be like, what a wonderful surprise.
Garth Brooks, like early 90s country, or some Reba McEntire. It's usually like the 90s country.
Love it.
Alabama, I'm in a hurry to get things done. Oh my gosh, amazing.
Yeah, it's so, it brings us back to a time. What about you? One that would pop right off?
It depends for me. Like, for me, if I'm like trying to get pumped up, I'm listening to Soca. That's like my thing. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a good one. Great times.
All right, well, you know, sometimes you can listen to music to bring you up when conditions are challenging outside. Although, bedecked this morning, it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful start to the day. Although cold, just keep that in mind when you are heading out. You can see here clouds are slowly beginning to clear. The sun is slowly rising. We will be seeing a bit of sunshine for parts of the Maritime region today. But as I mentioned, quite cold right across the board early this morning. -1 in Bathurst, -2 degrees in Edmonton, 0 in Fredericton, Charlottetown, and Halifax, 2 degrees in Sydney, 7 into Gander and St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a wind warning remaining in effect for parts of Newfoundland, as well as a snowfall warning that remains as well. Over to our satellite and radar, we are still seeing mixed precipitation for much of Newfoundland and Labrador throughout the day today. For the Maritime region, starting off with a chance of showers and or flurries, clearing for the most part, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. In terms of the wind, will remain strong yet again today. As of right now, sustained winds, 61 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 57 into Grand Etang with 33 in Canso, 46 in Greenwood. Over to our wind gusts, getting up to 74 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 70 into Grand Etang, 61 into Greenwood, 63 into Yarmouth. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast just ahead. But first, a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. Because of the weather, some ferry crossings in the region are canceled. Northumberland Ferry says planned crossings at 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. out of Wood Island's PEI aren't happening. The company also canceled the 8:30 a.m. and 11:45 a.m. trips out of Caribou, Nova Scotia. They say they will monitor the forecast to ensure other sailings can depart when scheduled. And Marine Atlantic has canceled the 6:30 a.m., 11:45 a.m. and 5:45 p.m. crossings between North Sydney and Port aux Basques. PEI Liberal leader Robert Mitchell will run in the province's by-election for the Georgetown seat. Mitchell served as an MLA from 2007 to 2020 and has held cabinet positions such as health minister. The by-election was called after former cabinet minister Stephen Myers resigned back in October. Voters will head to the polls on December 8th, and the deadline for candidate nominations is November 21st. Boston's newly elected mayor will wrap up her 4-day tour of Nova Scotia today. Later this morning, Michelle Wu will be in Lunenburg for the annual Boston tree cutting ceremony.
It was important for me to be here this year to bring a direct thanks on behalf of the people of Boston and to express that we stand strong in our commitment and in our friendship in the good times, in bad times, and also recognizing the importance of this relationship that connects to our economic success as a region, our shared history as important coastal port cities, and as continued friends.
And these are images from last year's ceremony at the Boston Common. The tree has been an annual gift to the city as a gesture of thanks for support after the Halifax explosion in 1917. Wu arrived in town over the weekend and also participated in Remembrance Day activities yesterday in Halifax. And before the tree is trucked to Boston, it will be cut later this morning at a ceremony with officials and onlookers in attendance. Here's a look at the 45-foot white spruce in Lunenburg County. It was nominated by the former property owners, Ronald and Claire Feener. That ceremony will begin at 10:30 a.m. in Martins Brook. CTV's Katie Kelly will MC, and we'll have more coverage tonight on CTV News at 6. By the way, the City of Boston's 84th annual tree lighting ceremony will take place Thursday, December 4th. Remembrance Day ceremonies attracted many people in places like Lunenburg, where there is renewed interest in strengthening the act of remembrance. The annual parade attracted scores of people, as it usually does. A new poll suggests nearly 70% of Canadians intended to mark Remembrance Day this year. The local Legion says that number should be higher.
It's extremely important that people get engaged and remember what happened in the past, because we see what's going on in the world, and it's a very dangerous place, and it looks like we're going to repeat some mistakes of the past if we're not careful.
And on this, the 80th anniversary since the end of the Second World War, it's believed there are only about 3,700 veterans of that war still alive. And while Canadian youth turned out in large numbers for Remembrance Day ceremonies, one woman in Fredericton is going further.
We joked when I joined that I was probably the youngest member in the country.
A rare young member of the Legion Auxiliary, she's made it her mission to attract more people her age to the cause. Her dedication stemmed from generations of Legion members.
My great-grandmother was provincial president of the Auxiliary and branch president, and my great-grandfather was president of our Legion as well. So I always kind of grew up with that, knowing what that meant.
At the age of just 23, Madison just received her 5-year service pin and is the first vice president of the Ladies Auxiliary at the Fredericton Legion. Finally, Oromocto holds one of the more meaningful Remembrance Day ceremonies, given its connection to CFB Gagetown. The town is close to the 5th Canadian Division Support Base, which provided flyovers of helicopters for the town's ceremony, traditionally one of the region's largest.
It is because it's a military town. It's not just a family thing, it's a community thing, because we're all part of the community. Everybody supports it.
And the local Legion believes as many as 2,000 people attended yesterday's ceremony in Oromocto. That's a community I visit quite a bit because my family's there in Oromocto, so I can go there often whenever I can.
Looks like a really great Remembrance Day ceremony there.
Oh, beautiful. Just the ceremonies right around the region, and just a special shout out to our colleagues on CTV News at 5 and 6 and 11:30 because they provided the most beautiful Remembrance Day and poignant Remembrance Day coverage as they do every single year from around the region, and to our reporters and camera operators in the field. So just a thank you to everyone.
Indeed. Thank you for saying that. It's true. All right. One Canadian community is allowing people to pay their parking tickets in a different way this month. The Scrooge Ticket campaign in Innisfil, Ontario allows anyone that gets a parking ticket in the town between November 15th and 29th to pay in the form of a donation to the local food bank or community fridge instead. But here's the catch. The donation must be the same dollar value as the parking tickets. So nearly $8,500 was collected last year, and since the campaign started in 2014, it's raised $42,000 annually. I bring this because I think this is a neat tradition that maybe we might want to adopt in some communities in our region. Yeah.
That's super cool. I mean, you never
Sucks
like
about the ticket.
Just sucks about the ticket. But I mean, if you're gonna pay it anyway, that's awesome that you can pay it forward.
Exactly.
Yeah, I bet some people even put more in than their value of the ticket. But in any case, they're just an idea if you want to try that, if you're in charge of a town somewhere out there.
Maybe. Okay, still ahead, your entertainment headlines. But coming up next, it's the Move Morning Chat. We're asking.
Okay.
How many times have you seen the Backstreet Boys in concert?
You don't want to know.
Yeah, Latavia. We're going to be talking about what performer or band you've seen live the most. That conversation coming up.
Oh, my heart. Welcome back. The time now is 6:42. We're taking a live look at Masstown. It's currently 1 degree in your area, so quite a cold start to the day, and we are expecting flurries early this morning. It is cold right across the region. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. You may want to layer up. As of right now, it is 0 heading outdoors in Fredericton as well as into Charlottetown and Halifax, 2 degrees in Sydney, 3 degrees starting off your day over in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, as well as into Corner Brook, and 7 into St. John's, Newfoundland. A wind warning remains in effect for this morning for parts of Newfoundland. We are going to see wind gusts between 80 to 100 kilometers per hour today, so quite a windy day ahead for parts of the province, as well as a snowfall warning for parts of Labrador, looking at around 15 to 20 centimeters of snowfall accumulation. Here's a closer look at this system that's tracking across the region. Heavy snow expected for parts of Labrador as well as into showers and periods of rain. We are going to see that wet weather persist for Newfoundland as well. A little bit of wet snow expected. And for the Maritime region, starting off early this morning, a bit cloudy, as well as some isolated flurries and or showers. Into the afternoon, we will be seeing a bit of clearing, leaving some sunshine for parts of all 3 Maritime provinces. Still seeing flurries and periods of snow for parts of Cape Breton Island, and that heaviest of the weather situated for Newfoundland and Labrador. Taking us into the evening hours, temperatures really cooling down yet again. So over the next couple of days, as we inch towards the end of the work week, it's going to be quite cold into the weekend as well. We do have another system that will make its way over, bringing a few showers for parts of the Maritime region into tomorrow's forecast. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, going to remain quite light. An additional 2 to 5 millimeters expected for parts of Nova Scotia. We are going to see around 2 to 10 for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. In terms of our snowfall outlook, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall accumulation for North Mountain, as well as 5 to 10 for Labrador City, 1 to 5 for parts of Newfoundland. Into our forecast today for New Brunswick, we will be seeing highs range from 2 to 7 degrees, being the warmest into Grand Manan. We do have chance of flurries early in the morning, clearing into the afternoon, leaving sunshine, wind gusts of up to 50. And then for Prince Edward Island, same thing applies, a chance of flurries and or showers. Starting off the day, sunshine into the afternoon, wind gusts getting up to 70 kilometers per hour. Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing. We're looking at mixed precipitation starting off your day, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, highs will range from 7 to 8 degrees, flurries and or showers, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, looking at a high of -4 today, periods of snow throughout your day, and a chance of showers throughout your day for St. John's, Newfoundland, with a high of 9. Thursday's forecast, temperatures really begin to cool down. We do have some precipitation tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada. Mixed precipitation returns for parts of Newfoundland, taking us into Friday's forecast, a much colder day ahead, ending off the work week, and also seeing mixed precipitation for parts of Atlantic Canada. That's a look at your weather forecast. Now we'll throw things over to the Move Morning Chat. And it's time for our Move Morning Chat. And this morning, we're talking about what band have you seen the most in concert? Aaron, Peter, who is it? Tell us.
Yeah, we were reflecting on this past weekend in Halifax when Blue Rodeo was playing at the Scotiabank Centre for their 40th anniversary tour. And I was there over the weekend, and I was saying to Peter, I think they might be the band I've seen the most in my life. I remember being really young as a kid and my parents always bringing us out to Blue Rodeo concerts. So I was trying to do the math, and I think it might have been anywhere between 10 and 15 times seeing Blue Rodeo in concert.
Wow.
But I will go every single time. They are the kind of band to me that just never gets old. Their music is so classic Canadian, and I will always be showing up as one of their biggest fans. So for me, it was Blue Rodeo.
Yeah, and I haven't seen Blue Rodeo 10 or 15 times, but they might actually be the band I've seen the most. But I don't want to be just like Aaron, so I'm going to throw this one out. I've seen a lot of different concerts, not all that many artists multiple times, but I'll throw out Garth Brooks as an act that I saw 3 nights in a row when he played what was then the Halifax Metro Centre. And I had tickets for one night and was lucky enough to be gifted tickets for the other 2 nights that he was here. 3 concerts. There were a lot of us there who saw all 2 or 3 concerts or whatever, or at least 2 of the concerts because there were a lot of fans at the time. And none of those concerts was the same. Okay, that's what I want.
That's a real professional.
Wow.
That's a good one. I think, hilariously, the band I've probably seen the most, also Blue Rodeo, hilariously, although it's been a long time. They put on a great show. You know, the music is iconic and great. But I would say, if it's a little bit off, but I would say the band I wish I could see, and I know that probably a lot of people are like, what? But I'm desperate to see Duran Duran. I want to see them while they're still relevant and, like, just, you know, relive some memories with that. Yeah.
That's iconic, actually.
Yeah.
Blue Rodeo taking the sweep right now. Well, I am not on trend, my friends. I've seen the love of my life very many times, which is AJ from the Backstreet Boys. So I've been sorry, honey. But I've been to a Backstreet Boys concert at least 3 times. I've seen them 5 times in my lifetime, not including the Zoom interview I did with AJ. So, yeah, I'm quite a big fan and quite in love still.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. We're going to get some great responses from our viewers. So what's the band you've been in concert to see the most? Text us at 10400. You want to send a little photo of you having a great old time at the concert? We'd love to see it. Again, text us 10400.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. Time now, 6:51, and it's time to head over to Hollywood and take a look at your entertainment headlines.
Do you make money at this little table tennis thing?
Not yet.
Do you have a job?
No.
A new trailer for Timothée Chalamet's new movie Marty Supreme is out. Chalamet stars as an up-and-coming professional table tennis player, which is already generating Oscar buzz. Gwyneth Paltrow also stars. It hits theaters on Christmas Day. The Eagles are adding final dates in 2026 to their residency at the Las Vegas Sphere. 4 new shows are scheduled for late March. Tickets for next year's shows go on sale to the general public on November 21st.
Who wasn't a fan of the Golden Girls?
I don't think we'd seen anything like that on TV before.
The Golden Girls, 40 Years of Laughter and Friendship is now out on Disney Plus and Hulu. The special edition of 2020 looks at the lasting cultural phenomenon of the beloved 80s sitcom that starred Betty White, B. Arthur, Estelle Getty, and Rue McClanahan. The show took home a total of 11 Emmy Awards, including 1 for each of the 4 main cast members. Disney is the parent company of ABC News.
Hi, everybody.
And happy birthday to Anne Hathaway. She rose to fame with The Princess Diaries in 2001 and won an Oscar for Les Mis in 2012. Anne Hathaway turns 43 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Rena Roy, ABC News.
I want to have whatever Anne Hathaway is having because she's aging backwards.
She looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's a fine wine.
Exactly.
All right.
All
This
right.
is a fun story.
Yes, it is. And as we've mentioned on the show before, Crystal's actually mentioned it, many believe woolly worm caterpillars can help us predict the kind of winter we're about to experience.
Yeah, it turns out there's a whole festival devoted to the creatures, and ABC's Danny New talked to the organizer.
This fall, for the 48th time, the town of Banner Elk, North Carolina, once again got its winter weather forecast not from a groundhog, but a worm.
I'm coming for Phil because, like, our accuracy rate on winter forecasting is around, like, the 86%.
This is all thanks to an annual event called the Woolly Worm Festival, when this town of about 1,000 people hosts more than 20,000 to come race these fuzzy little critters up pieces of string. As event chairwoman Victoria Bowman puts it,
I would, like, love to say I'm kidding, but I'm not.
Where do you get 1,000 worms?
All over these mountains.
Eventually, a grand prize winner emerges. This year, it was Billy who won the $1,000 prize for Maribel here from Indiana. Afterward, per tradition, the grand prize winner's coat is then interpreted, as the woolly worm's 13 bands are used to predict the roughly 13 weeks of winter.
So the darker the band, the more intense the weather is supposed to be.
And hey, this practice actually predates the festival. For example, this article from Time in 1948 writes, quote, "If the brown band is wide, it will be a mild winter. If the brown band is narrow, the winter will be a freezeroo." But for the record, at the Woolly Worm Festival, once these fuzzy competitors are done being potential prognosticators, attendees are encouraged to return them to the wild. However,
Then they go through their life cycle and they turn into moths. So it's really not a glamorous end for the winter.
Yay, moths. Also, for the record, Billy's coat indicated that this year's winter will start off snowy and cold, then have 4 weeks of mild temperatures, and then go back to snowy and cold. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
If there was ever a report designed for Crystal Garrett, it was that one. She's very, very happy with it. All right, happening now in local news. The weather impacting ferry crossings yet again. Select ferry crossings between Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island, as well as Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, are canceled today due to the weather. We'll have more details coming up at 7 o'clock. Also in Prince Edward Island, Liberal leader Robert Mitchell will run in the province's by-election for the Georgetown seat. The by-election was called after former cabinet minister Stephen Myers resigned in October. Plus, a sign of the season, Nova Scotia's Tree for Boston will be cut down in a big ceremony later this morning with the mayor of Beantown in attendance. CTV's Katie Kelly will also MC the event. We'll have those details coming up next in your local news headlines at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. But first, it is a look at the cold 3-day forecast with Latavia.
Burr, Amanda, burr. In New Brunswick, it's going to be a high of 4 degrees today. We do have some isolated flurries starting off the day, clearing into the afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud, a low of -2. And then on Thursday, warming up a bit, 6 degrees, becoming seasonal for your daytime high. We do have some isolated flurries still tracking for parts of the province. Yet again, seeing a mix of sun and cloud. And then on Friday, really cooling down, 2 degrees is your daytime high, and sunshine across the province. For Nova Scotia, high of 7 degrees today, showers and or flurries across the province, clearing into the afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. A high of 6 on Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud, but we do have periods of rain for Cape Breton. And then on Friday, a high of 3 degrees, isolated showers for parts of the province, and also going to see some sunshine. Prince Edward Island, a high of 5 with mixed precipitation, clearing into the afternoon, leaving sunshine. On Thursday, a high of 5 with showers across the island, and precipitation yet again for Friday, isolated showers with a high of 3.
It's Wednesday, November 12th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, an annual tradition. Nova Scotia's Tree for Boston will be chopped down with lots of fanfare later this morning. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And the Dartmouth Makers Winter Market. We'll get a preview of the upcoming event featuring local makers. It's a place to start or finish your Christmas shopping list. This is on my list. Love it. This is all coming up in the half hour ahead on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic, Canada. The time now is 7 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us early this morning. It is quite cold across the region, so you're going to want to layer up. Not happy about it, personally.
Speak from experience. I pulled out a winter coat today. I have many coats, and I reached for like mid-ish, like on the scale, like around the middle. I should have gone more towards the more extreme cold scale. I think today.
I pulled out the winter jacket, not the big duvet jacket that I like to wear all winter, but the warm one.
Yeah. Makes you wonder, too, when you're going to start breaking out those winter boots. I just went to pour myself a coffee, and we have a beautiful kitchen, coffee break room area, and we have these big, beautiful windows that face Robie Street, and the snow is falling.
Spooky.
It's beautiful.
Spooky.
It's beautiful. Look at this.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh, it's magical.
It's as if you guys don't listen to me.
I need to see it to believe it. It's gorgeous.
I love it.
Starting to feel like the holiday season, though, right?
Gosh, it sure is.
Yeah, I like looking at it from indoors, not being out there. But if you are going to be out there today, make sure to layer up and be prepared for wet roads ahead. You may want to allot some extra time out on your morning commute. As of right now, it is 0 in Halifax and feeling quite cold across the board. We're starting to see everything cool down midweek and going to continue to be quite cold as we inch towards the end of the work week. For today, though, 0 in Fredericton, 1 degree in Charlottetown, 2 degrees in Sydney, 3 in Yarmouth, -5 in Labrador City, 8 degrees in Cartwright with 9 in St. Anthony, and 7 into St. John's, Newfoundland. That wind warning remaining in effect for parts of Newfoundland. Wind gusts could get up to 100 kilometers per hour. And we do still have a snowfall warning for parts of Labrador. This will be expecting snow, at times heavy, up to 20 centimeters. So here's a look at our satellite and radar. We are still seeing the heavier mixed precipitation for Newfoundland and Labrador. Early this morning, as you saw from our live, we are expecting flurries and or showers, a bit heavier for parts of the region. Into the afternoon, we are expecting some of that precipitation to clear out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Breezy wind remains, though, for all 3 maritime provinces. Will continue to pick up into the afternoon. As of right now, 61 kilometers per hour in North Cape. We're looking at 57 in Grand Etang, 46 in Greenwood, 41 in Halifax. Wind gusts getting up to 74 right now in North Cape, 70 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, 61 in Greenwood with 63 into Yarmouth. We'll have another look at your midweek forecast just ahead, but first another look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. And because of the weather, some ferry crossings in the region are canceled. Northumberland Ferry says planned crossings at 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. out of Wood Island's PEI aren't happening. The company also canceled the 8:30 a.m. and 11:45 a.m. trips out of Caribou, Nova Scotia. They say they will keep an eye on the forecast to ensure other sailings can depart when scheduled. And Marine Atlantic has canceled the 6:30 a.m., 11:45 a.m. and 5:45 p.m. crossings between North Sydney and Port aux Basques. Beginning today, anyone entering the IWK Health Centre in Halifax will have to wear a mask. The organization says this applies to staff, visitors, and patients. Masks are required in all of the IWK's public spaces and in all the areas where patient care is provided. In a social media post, the IWK says as we move into viral respiratory season, this is to enhance protection for all. Masks will be made available at all IWK Health Centre entrances. PEI Liberal leader Robert Mitchell will run in the province's by-election for the Georgetown seat. Mitchell served as an MLA from 2007 to 2020 and has held cabinet positions such as health minister. The by-election was called after former cabinet minister Stephen Myers resigned in October. Voters will head to the polls on December 8th, and the deadline for candidate nominations is November 21st. Boston's newly elected mayor will wrap up her 4-day tour of Nova Scotia today. Later this morning, Michelle Wu will be in Lunenburg County for the annual Boston tree cutting ceremony.
It was important for me to be here this year to bring a direct thanks on behalf of the people of Boston and to express that we stand strong in our commitment and in our friendship in the good times, in bad times, and also recognizing the importance of this relationship that connects to our economic success as a region, our shared history as important coastal port cities, and as continued friends.
And these are images from last year's ceremony at the Boston Common. The tree has been an annual gift to the city as a gesture of thanks for support after the Halifax explosion back in 1917. Wu arrived in town over the weekend and also participated in Remembrance Day activities in Halifax yesterday. Now, before the tree is trucked to Boston, it will be cut later this morning at a ceremony with officials and onlookers in attendance. This is a look at the 45-foot white spruce in Lunenburg County. It was nominated by the former property owners, Ronald and Claire Feener. That ceremony will begin at 10:30 a.m. in Martinsbrook. CTV's Katie Kelly will MC, and we'll have more coverage tonight on CTV News at 6. There is no base in St. Peter's, PEI, but no other community in Canada lost more of its young men and women to war. That oversized sacrifice is honored each year on Remembrance Day.
Most fatal casualties per capita of all communities, not just in Canada, but the entire British Commonwealth.
Even now, the population of the community is fewer than 300. Nearly everyone has a story to tell.
My uncle Eugene, he was a private, and he actually was killed on the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. My mother shared all her memories of the war, so we would never forget.
Probably built upon the First World War contribution within the community. Very small place, and they saw so many go from the First World War. It's only natural, I think, that the inclination was to follow in their footsteps.
On a per capita basis, no other community in the Commonwealth lost more people than St. Peter's. Finally, among those attending the event, the Remembrance Day event in Truro yesterday, was a veteran of the Second World War who will be celebrating his 101st birthday on Sunday. Lloyd Cody is well known in the community. He served as a medical orderly on military ships during the war, helping to bring wounded soldiers home. Born in Cheat Harbor in 1924, he enlisted at the age of 20 and served in the Medical Corps until 1947. He never misses a Remembrance Day ceremony.
It's very nice. People bring back memories and appreciate what the Department of Veterans are doing, and what the veterans did during the war, and showing appreciation of all the veterans and what we went through.
And Mr. Cody says he enjoys meeting fellow veterans of all ages, and the community turnout is something he looks forward to every year. So a big thank you to your service, for your service rather, and a big happy 101st birthday. That is going to be a party this Sunday.
Absolutely incredible.
He never misses a ceremony.
Great story.
Wow, beautiful.
This is a neat item to bring to your attention. We've had her on the show, Halifax filmmaker Andrea Dorfman. She is back from a tour of film festivals around North America, and now her award-winning short, Hairy Legs, is available to stream for free.
Somehow Christine always knew what was up next, and I always followed her lead. Being a woman isn't so hard.
Hairy Legs is stop-motion and hand-painted short that tells a hilarious, heartwarming tale of girlhood from the Emmy-nominated filmmaker. The 16-minute film delightfully documents a 13-year-old girl's small yet life-changing act of rebellion on the road to womanhood and feminism. Hairy Legs is now streaming free across nfb.ca, YouTube, and NFB platforms in Canada and the U.S. And Andrea Dorfman stopped by our studios before heading off on the tour, where she won 7 awards.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's a great conversation, too.
I hope she had a blast.
I hope she, it seems like she did.
Right?
And then, yeah, so if you want to check it out, it's only 16 minutes. There's many ways you can do it for free.
And you can enjoy it yourself.
Yes.
We're going to take another break on this Wednesday morning. I'll have a look at your national news headlines in just a few minutes, especially as we head into flu season. But first, Latavia will have her latest look at the midweek forecast. That's coming up on the other side of this break. We'll be right back. Good morning to you, Moncton. A chilly morning if you're going out for a walk next to the Petitcodiac River. We'll be right back.
Look at this live eye in Halifax. It's quite cold, and you can see it has been snowing in our region. Time now is 7:13, starting off your day at 0 in Halifax. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. It's going to be quite a cold day ahead for much of the region. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. You can see right across the board, cool temperatures early this morning. 0 starting off your day in Fredericton, with 1 degree in Charlottetown, 2 degrees in Sydney, and 6 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Wind warning remains in effect for parts of Newfoundland, looking at wind gusts between 80 to 100 kilometers per hour, and a snowfall warning for parts of Labrador. Could see around 15 to 20 centimeters. Over to our forecast timeline, taking a closer look at this current system we're dealing with. Isolated flurries and or showers, a bit of heavier snowfall for parts of the region as well. And then seeing that heavier part of the system into Newfoundland and Labrador, mixed precipitation expected throughout your day. For the Maritime region, we will be seeing a bit of that precipitation clear out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud for parts of all three Maritime provinces. Still dealing with flurries and wet snow for parts of Cape Breton Island. Same thing goes for Newfoundland and Labrador. Still seeing that mixed precipitation throughout your day. Into the evening and overnight hours, we will be seeing another low pressure system make its way over, bringing some showers and or flurries back around for parts of the region. Taking us into Thursday's forecast, we do have a messy mix yet again, and pretty cold temperatures as well. Over to our rainfall outlook, only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters of additional precipitation for parts of Nova Scotia, looking around 2 to 20 for both parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. In terms of our snowfall outlook, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall accumulation. Could see 5 to 10 for Labrador City and 1 to 5 for parts of Newfoundland. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick, looking at flurries and or showers starting off the day that will clear, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Wind breezy yet again with gusts of up to 50. For Prince Edward Island, highs between 5 to 6 degrees, looking at the same thing. Chance of flurries and or showers starting off your day, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. Wind out of the west, 50, gusting to 70. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, flurries and or showers start off the day, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Daytime highs between 4 to 7 degrees and wind gusts of up to 60. Then for the rest of Nova Scotia, flurries and or showers also starting off your day, clearing, leaving a bit of sunshine into the afternoon. For Labrador City, a high of -5 today. We are looking at periods of snow throughout your day. A chance of showers continues into St. John's, Newfoundland with a high of 9. Over the next couple of days, ending off the work week, it's going to cool right down. Quite cold across the region, below seasonal daytime highs. We do have a bit of precipitation tracking across parts of the Maritime region and into parts of Cape Breton Island, seeing heavier rainfall expected. Same thing goes for parts of Newfoundland. And then into our forecast for Thursday evening, another low making its way over, bringing a mixed precipitation back our way for parts of Atlantic Canada. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda now for your national and international news headlines.
Thanks, Latavia. Time is 7:16. As the temperature drops, the number of flu cases often goes up. There are warnings about the current strain of influenza and how this year's vaccine might not completely protect you. CTV's Heather Wright explains.
A severe strain and a mismatch vaccine could mean a bad flu season for Canada.
The specific strain we're worried about this year is called H3N2. It tends to have more severe seasons.
Though not a direct indicator, countries in the north always look to the south for clues to how the upcoming flu season might unfold, as theirs starts earlier. And in Australia, this year was particularly bad. The highest number of lab-confirmed cases ever amid declining vaccination rates. Another challenge, the vaccine developed for the upcoming flu season is not a perfect match to the strain circulating.
You try and predict what's going to emerge, but the virus mutates very quickly. And some years that match is very good. Some years it's not as good. We may be running into a situation this year, and I think may is the important word because it's not a perfect prediction where the match is not as good.
This year's flu vaccine targets 2 influenza A strains, including a subtype of H3N2, as well as an influenza B strain. Doctors say some protection is better than no protection.
Even if it's not a perfect match, there'll be some degree of protection. You might still get sick, but you might be protected from, for example, hospitalization or pneumonia, or the more severe consequences of infection.
The Public Health Agency of Canada says it's far too early to predict whether Canada will see a severe flu season. Among the factors that will have an impact are the effectiveness of the vaccine, but also other respiratory illnesses like RSV and COVID. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Thank you, Heather. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll head over to the Your Morning Atlantic demo set to meet the Dartmouth makers. We'll have some holiday gift ideas just ahead.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Well, if you love a holiday market, then you'll want to put the Dartmouth Makers Winter Show on your must-see list. The event is marking 10 years of celebrating and supporting the vibrant arts community in Dartmouth. And the Winter Show on November 28th and 29th at Christchurch Hall is a great opportunity to find one-of-a-kind gifts and lots of Sullivan's Pond Goose merch, which I personally can't get enough of. So here to tell us more is board member of the Dartmouth Makers, Amy Scott, and she's the owner also of the Laughing Pear Soap Company, and Brad Hartman, owner of Bard. Good morning to you both.
Thanks, good morning.
So great to have you here. Huge fan of the show, have been for many years. I'm going to start with you, Amy, because I have bought your soaps many times. For those who haven't been, how would you describe the Dartmouth Makers Winter Market?
So our market is at Christchurch Hall in Dartmouth, just off Portland Street, and it's just a very cozy, warm, like lovely time. I don't know, it has a great holiday vibe.
Yeah, it's upstairs and downstairs. We have many pictures of the show over the years. And what I love about this particular show, you don't have to be a Dartmouth lover, but if you are, this is a great show for you because you really lean into the Dartmouth vibes. Now, with that, Brad, you created a special, you do pop-up cards. You created a special gigantic pop-up card for the show.
Yes, featuring some of the geese from Sullivan's Pond. So now, I can't take full credit for this. Kate and Kaz from KG Ceramics did a lot of the work for the cutting out this and getting the sizes all correct. So it feels like I just slapped a little paint on it at the end, but it'll be a full-size, like 8 feet by 8 feet booth that you can stand in. There you go. Yeah, with your family and friends and take some cute photos.
I just think this is so great. It's just so fun, and it feels like the show has really evolved over the years. Amy, you've been there many of them.
Yeah, I've done the show as a maker for a long time, and then I've started working with the board about 3 years ago. And we have about 50 vendors that come to the show, and we get over 200 applicants every year. So it's a really lovely thing that we get to choose from all of our lovely local makers.
Okay, so there are some people in the making of getting it ready. It must take, it sounds like then it would be many months in advance to get this show going.
Yeah, we actually also do a spring show as well, so we kind of stay busy all year. Yeah.
Look how fun it is in there. Christchurch Hall, that's worth going to the show just to see it.
It's really charming, yeah, with the little twinkly lights and all the Dartmouth rep. It's a fun show.
Now, oh God, of course, Woody, the talking Christmas tree, will be making many iterations, and so will the Sullivan's Pond geese. Now, Brad, you do pop-up cards that showcase different parts of our region. How is it that you got into making pop-up cards as your special gift to the world?
Yeah, well, for many years I've been making pop-up cards as gifts for birthday, Christmas cards for family and friends, and one year someone asked if they could buy one of them, and then I just started selling them. I got a lot of help from my wife, though. First of all, she recommends all the little cute touches. I show her an example, and she says, I think it could be a touch cuter, so she's got the eye there.
She's a woman after my own heart. Yeah. Let's just refer, you've gotten into a lot of work to bring in a lot of items. Here's the Laughing Pear. This is your son, Amy. Yeah. But you, this year of the 50 vendors, you've been careful. Maybe talk about a few that you're highlighting here today.
Yeah, we've got one of the things about designing the show is kind of choosing a wide range of stuff. So you'll see lots of different things. We'll have a lot of food. I brought some South Shore sea salt, which I brought from my kitchen because I use it all the time. We have Isabel has some stock with an oddity or two, and then we have Tatari, which is like a little beaded. They're really interesting dishes, a couple different wood makers, things like that.
Gorgeous pieces of the bee candles. I mean, really, there's a gorgeous variety. For both of you, I'll ask, because you've been to the show before, if somebody's a newcomer to the show, any advice for navigating the first time?
Okay, when you go to the show for the first time, you walk through the entire show and you don't buy anything.
Okay.
You check it all out, chat with the makers. The best part about buying from the person who made your stuff is that they want to meet you. We love talking to people. Yeah. Check it all out. Keep in mind who you're buying for, and then go back through a second time, and you'll find everything you need. Really, you could get your entire Christmas shopping done in one day here.
First walkthrough is definitely key.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Any last advice, Brad, before we go?
I mean, my last advice for the vendors at the show is make sure you charge up your Square device and update it before coming. There's always those last-minute updates that get you the morning of.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.
Good luck on the November 20th and 29th.
Yeah.
And I'll see you there. We have put all the details about the Dartmouth Makers Winter Show on our website to make it easy for you to find. And yeah, there they are as well. So now we'll turn things over to Latavia, who actually has snow in the forecast right now.
Yes, we do, Crystal. Right now, we're taking a look at New Brunswick, 4 degrees for your daytime high. Today, we are looking at some isolated flurries, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Thursday, much of the same, a high of 6 degrees. We will be seeing some sunshine, but also isolated flurries return. And then on Friday, lots of sunshine, cooling down though to 2 degrees. Nova Scotia will be seeing a high of 7 today. Mixed precipitation clearing into the afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud returns, but we do have periods of rain for Cape Breton Island. And then on Friday, a high of 3, isolated showers, but also seeing a bit of sunshine. Prince Edward Island looking at a high of 5, showers under flurries today, clearing into the afternoon, leaving sunshine. Thursday, 5 degrees with showers across the island and isolated showers on Friday, cooling down to 3 degrees.
Still ahead, spending stress. November brings plenty of holiday deals and the temptation to overspend. A financial advisor will share her tips to help keep you on track during this season of spending. That's on this Wednesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic. Welcome back. 7:30. We're halfway through the show already. And I know that our studio smells incredible from all the soap from the Laughing Pear Soap Company. Did you see anything on that table that you want to buy? Because I'll be going to the market. I can pick it up for you if you're not able to attend.
Okay.
Well, I'll provide a list, Crystal.
Yeah, and I'll check it twice.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it smells so good. I really want to get a photo with the giant Dartmouth geese.
That was incredible. What a fun, it's very, very Dartmouth, very cute. Amy's soaps, she sometimes makes soaps that are, they're clear, glycerin soaps, and there's a little toy in there.
Oh, that's
so it's really fun. It makes your kids want to wash their hands.
Right? Yep, that will help.
Keep going and going and going.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe our Live Eye in Halifax had a beautiful blanket of snow on the ground.
I know. That's supposed to end.
Okay.
So for the Maritime region, we are getting mixed precipitation. Into the afternoon, for the most part, we should be seeing a mix of sun and cloud return, kind of like what we did yesterday.
Right.
Got that weather and then got a little bit of sunshine. That's exactly what we're expecting. However, it's colder across the region today.
Okay.
Yeah, something to keep in mind when you are heading out.
Oh, that looks very cold.
Yeah.
Yep.
Quite breezy this morning as well. And you can see from our Live Eye over in Lockport, it is a cool start to the day. Just keep that in mind when you are heading out. Make sure to bundle up. We are seeing some mixed precipitation tracking across the region, so you may want to allot some extra time out on your morning commute. We'll take a look at our current temperatures, and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about right across the board. 0 starting off your day in Fredericton, 1 degree in Charlottetown, 0 currently in Halifax, 2 degrees in Sydney, -6 in Labrador City, and 6 degrees starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. Part of a wind warning remains in effect. We are still expecting wind gusts between 80 to 100 kilometers per hour for parts of Newfoundland, and for parts of Labrador. A snowfall warning also remains as we expect snow, at times heavy. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. You can see that mixed precipitation tracking across the region. Still the heaviest of that precipitation will be for Newfoundland and Labrador, but we are expecting a chance of showers and or flurries for the Maritimes. Into the afternoon, breezy wind will remain. As of right now, though, even 63 kilometers per hour for sustained wind in North Cape, 50 into Grand Detang. We are looking at 46 starting off your day in Greenwood. Wind gusts getting up to 85 right now in North Cape, 63 in Grand Detang, 65 in Greenwood, with 54 in Yarmouth and Halifax. That's a look at your current temperatures and forecasts. We'll take a look at your long range coming up, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. And because of the weather, once again, ferry crossings are canceled. At least some of them are. Northumberland Ferry says planned crossings at 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. out of Wood Islands, PEI. Those aren't happening. The company also canceled the 8:30 a.m. and 11:45 a.m. trips out of Caribou, Nova Scotia. They say they will keep an eye on the forecast to ensure other sailings can depart when scheduled. And Marine Atlantic has canceled the 6:30 a.m., 11:45 a.m. and 5:45 p.m. crossings between North Sydney and Port aux Basques. Beginning today, anyone entering the IWK Health Centre in Halifax will have to wear a mask. The organization says this applies to staff, visitors, and patients. Masks are required in all of the IWK's public spaces and in areas where patient care is provided. In a social media post, the IWK says as we move into viral respiratory season, this is to enhance protection for all. Masks will also be made available at all IWK Health Centre entrances. PEI Liberal leader Robert Mitchell will run in the province's by-election for the Georgetown seat. Mitchell served as an MLA from 2007 to 2020 and has held cabinet positions such as health minister. The by-election was called after former cabinet minister Stephen Myers resigned last month. Voters will head to the polls on December 8th, and the deadline for candidate nominations is November 21st. Boston's newly elected mayor will wrap up her 4-day tour of Nova Scotia today. Later this morning, Michelle Wu will be in Lunenburg County for the annual Boston tree cutting ceremony.
It was important for me to be here this year to bring a direct thanks on behalf of the people of Boston and to express that we stand strong in our commitment and in our friendship in the good times, in bad times, and also recognizing the importance of this relationship that connects to our economic success as a region, our shared history as important coastal port cities, and as continued friends.
And you're looking at images from last year's ceremony at the Boston Common. The tree has been an annual gift to the city as a gesture of thanks for support after the explosion, the Halifax explosion in 1917. Wu arrived in town over the weekend and also participated in Remembrance Day activities yesterday in Halifax. Now, before the tree is trucked to Boston, it's going to have to be cut down, and that's going to happen at a ceremony with officials and onlookers in attendance. The 45-foot white spruce is in Lunenburg County. It was nominated by the former property owners, Ronald and Claire Feener. That ceremony will start at 10:30 a.m. in Martinsbrook. CTV's Katie Kelly will MC, and we'll have coverage tonight on CTV News at 6. Canada's Indigenous peoples have long made significant contributions in the armed forces and overseas wars, but their stories often don't get the same level of attention. At Member 2 First Nation yesterday, Chief Terry Paul was among those feeling that even on Remembrance Day, Indigenous veterans are largely forgotten.
It is too bad. Like, you know, well, we're all people. We're all equal. We all should be equal, and that we should all respect each other. And we have a ways to go to make right for Indigenous veterans in this country.
It's the ultimate patriot, or you're not even recognized, as a citizen of your country. You're treated as second class, and you're still willing to serve for it.
First Nations people weren't allowed to vote in this country until 1960. This year's Remembrance Day service carried a special meaning in the town of Windsor, connecting the past with the future. Families and young cadets stood shoulder to shoulder. Poems were read and wreaths were placed. Organizers say involving youth in the ceremony keeps the stories of service alive for generations to come.
Very significant to let them know what the sacrifice people have made over the years for the world that they live in.
Our branch has got more youth involved in the ceremony than most other places. We had over 400 cadets on parade here today. It's awesome.
And as the last post sounded, 2 generations stood united in silence. Finally, did you happen to see the Northern Lights last night? Well, if you didn't, you might have another opportunity this evening. Until then, we have these beautiful pictures to enjoy. These were taken by viewer Brian Muldoon from Brooklyn, Nova Scotia. Now, experts say a wave of powerful solar storms is lighting up skies right across North America this week. And the eruptions mean the Northern Lights could be visible as far south as California and Alabama. How cool is that?
That is so cool. Well, super cool.
Send us an email or a photo if you happen to take some photos. I know you have to really know your stuff as a photographer to be able to really capture those colors. Yes. But if you did, we would love to see them and let us know your name, where you took the photos, and perhaps we can share them or at least hand them over to our web team. They would love to see that too.
I would love to see that. Would you love to see a real old-timey shelter for climbers in Italy's Dolomite Mountains?
I never thought you would ask.
Well, here you Today's your day, Amanda.
Finally.
See it. It actually is pretty cool. There it is. It's a bit of a relic. Look, it's old tin shack. This 3,000-meter sea level, here we go. Rewind. It is, you can see pretty high up. So it was 3,000 meters above sea level. And for more than 50 years, that very box stood that would offer anyone who was up there hiking a little refuge from harsh conditions. But now it's going to be displayed at a nearby science museum as part of an exhibit about life in high altitude environments and the effects of climate change. And why I chose to use this, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia with Maud Lewis's painted house in it.
Yeah.
You know, you can actually go see the actual house she lived at, where they're going to move this into this museum, and people can get up and close with it.
Whoa, that's cool.
It is neat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Air is fresher up there.
Definitely. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Very fresh.
We're going to go back in time and we're going to talk about the Move Morning Chat. If you're just tuning in, we are asking this morning, what band have you seen in concert the most? For Latavia, it's the Backstreet Boys. No shock there. Send us a text at 10400. Let us know your first name, where you watch from. If you haven't sent us a text yet, what are you waiting for? We would love to hear from you. We'll have a roundup of your answers later on in the show, and let us know how many times you think you've seen them too.
Yeah.
Super cool. All right, we have reached the halfway point of today's show. Please stick around. Coming up next, spend smart this season. A financial advisor will share simple strategies to keep your gift buying budget on track. That's coming up next, 7:40.
Welcome back. The time now is 7:43. We're taking a live look at Charlottetown. Currently 1 degree in your area, so quite a cold start to the day. And we are expecting a chance of some scattered flurries and or showers starting off the day. We'll clear into the mid to late afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Right across the region, we are seeing pretty cool temperatures starting off your day, something to keep in mind when you are heading out early this morning. 0 in Fredericton with 0 also in Halifax, 2 degrees starting off your day in Sydney, 3 into Happy Valley Goose Bay, 7 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. A wind warning remains in effect for parts of Newfoundland, looking at wind gusts between 80 to 100 kilometers per hour. And then we have that snowfall warning in effect for parts of Labrador. Snow at times heavy expected, up to 20 centimeters. Over to our forecast timeline. This is a look at the current system tracking across the region. Mixed precipitation starting off your day for parts of the Maritime region, specifically looking at a chance of showers and or flurries. And for Newfoundland and Labrador, seeing the heaviest of this system over there, looking at snow and or showers. And same thing goes for parts of Newfoundland. Into the afternoon, we will be seeing a bit of this system start to clear out of the Maritime region, leaving a bit more sunshine. Still holding on to parts of Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia. And then into the evening and overnight hours, another low will make its way over, bringing precipitation back around our way. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, it's going to remain quite light, only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters for parts of Nova Scotia, and looking around 2 to 20 for parts of both Newfoundland and Labrador. Into our snowfall outlook, seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters for North Mountain. Same thing goes for parts of Newfoundland, and 5 to 10 into Labrador City. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick, starting off the day with isolated flurries that will clear, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. Daytime highs between 2 to 7 degrees and wind gusts of up to 50. For Prince Edward Island, looking at highs between 5 to 6 degrees today. A chance of flurries and or showers early in the morning, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Wind gusts becoming strong, up to 70 kilometers per hour. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, looking at highs between 4 to 7 degrees. Same thing, we're expecting mixed precipitation starting off your day, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, highs between 7 to 8 degrees, flurries and or showers starting off the day, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud as well. Labrador City looking at periods of snow throughout the day with a high of -5. 9 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland, a chance of showers throughout your day. Temperatures really begin to cool down as we inch towards the end of the work week, so keep that in mind as well. Thursday's forecast, we are going to see another low pressure system make its way over, bringing some showers our way, as well as into parts of Newfoundland. And then into the evening, we'll start to see mixed precipitation move into parts of Newfoundland, and then back around into Friday's forecast for the Maritime region, Crystal.
Thanks, Latavia. It's 7:46, and November is Financial Literacy Month. It's also a time when many people start shopping for Christmas gifts. And while we love to treat our family and friends, it's important to stay mindful of our spending habits. Here to help us stretch the seasonal budget is certified financial planner Ava Kochinoff. Good morning, Ava. Welcome back.
Good morning, Crystal. Happy to be here.
You make talking about money not a scary thing.
Well, that's a good thing to hear. That's a good thing.
Well, that's why we have you here. And I know that people begin to feel the stress and the pressure building up in November. I know I'm starting to feel a little bit of stress because there is a lot of pressure to spend. Why do we feel this way?
Always. It's because Christmas in retail land starts like September. So whether you're at Costco or the dollar store or wherever, it all starts coming out in the fall. And so you're just feeling it all around you. And it's the expectation of buying this, buying that, the Black Friday sales, the Cyber Monday sales. So you're feeling this pressure online. It's all around us. So it's hard to tune it out. And yeah, it makes people feel very anxious.
It does. Okay, let's talk about maybe how we can make this the year that we stay on budget. It's fine and dandy to set, even setting a budget, kudos to you for doing that.
Yes.
But how do we keep there?
Well, that is a really good thing. The things that we talk about with my clients is have the conversation with your families, right? Sit down. If you come from a big family, do a lottery where you pick one from your group, right?
Yeah.
Make it, everyone's in the same boat. So if we can have those conversations to start, then we all know the expectations, and that helps bring down the stress, right?
That's true.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, believe it or not, Crystal, set the budget. So many people don't. We do this thing where some of my clients shop all year long, but they don't keep track of what they're shopping. So then they keep buying and buying, and then when they come to Christmas, they've got a surplus.
Yeah, it's true, and that's for sure. And I mean, Amanda is really good at that. She buys things all year round just to kind of spread out the spending, but yeah, keeping it on track with the budget is, because it will go quicker than you think.
Well, you're absolutely right. And the budget for most of my clients and I is around not just Christmas shopping, it's the food, the alcohol, the decorations, and we also wrap in New Year's, all of that stuff. So then we have this kind of holiday budget, and we follow that, and people get through it a lot smoother by knowing up front.
Think about everything. That's really smart. Okay, let's give our viewers a few practical things they can start doing today to make this year the best year financially.
Honestly, it's that budget. I know it sounds boring, but if you can think about the food, all those kind of items, the travel, if you're going to families or you got to have hotel rooms, those kind of things all add up. And so when you sit down and lay it out, that just kind of gives you a sense of, okay, this is how much more. I know it's a little late in the year, but a lot of my clients also budget all year long. So if Christmas is like a $3,000 event, then you know that every month that's $250 that you put aside.
That's super smart. You can start thinking about how much it costs this year, and then make that plan to start putting that money away in the new year, that you don't get caught off in the whole debt trap. What else can people do today?
I know you're not going to like this, but it's even when you go to the market that you were talking about this morning, go with cash. So you only spend what you have in your hand. And it's the same thing. Some of my clients go to cash for all of Christmas. So they go to the bank, take out the, I know it sounds like a lot, but they take out the $2,000 or the $500, whatever it is your budget is, and that is it. What you have is what you spend.
That's really, both of those are smart ideas. We got 30 seconds left. Anything else you want to share with our viewers?
It's just, if you're feeling anxious and you're overspending, it's okay. You can always just make sure to keep track so that you know what Christmas does look like, so that you can plan for next year.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes just even knowing the cold, hard facts.
Yeah, that's right.
That's an ugly truth, but knowing it, then you can do better next time.
That's it.
All right, Ava, where can we find you if we want more advice?
You can find me online through my website, and I'm always willing to chat with folks about spending, cash flow, and how to save for your future.
All right, that's Ava Coach. Now we put her information on our website to make it easy for you to find. And now we're going to turn our attention over to Amanda with Health News. Hi, Amanda.
Thanks, Crystal, and thank you, Ava. Health and medical news now, and a new Canadian study is showing a connection between concussions and car accidents. CTV's Pauline Chan has the details in Your Health.
Dr. Don Redelmeyer is an internal medicine specialist and researcher.
We looked at every adult in Ontario diagnosed with a concussion over the last 20 years. So that's a sample size of around 400,000 individuals.
And what they found was a dramatically higher risk of being involved in a car crash after suffering a concussion.
Patients in the aftermath of a concussion face about a 50% increase in the risk of a traffic crash, a 50% increase.
1 in every 13 concussion patients was injured in a serious car crash. The increased risk accounted for 1,633 ambulance calls, almost 60,000 days in hospital, and $835 million in medical costs.
It's a big surprise. What was even more surprising was just how dangerous the very first month was. That was associated with about a 500% increase in the risk of a subsequent traffic crash.
The study's findings hold not just for those driving, but even former concussion patients who are on the streets as pedestrians.
They also found that the risks grew with the number of concussions a patient had suffered.
I think it's a function of the brain fog, the slowed reactions, the episodes of inattention, the times of confusion that just make it harder to navigate in high-speed traffic. You can even find remnants of it 10 years later, but the most dangerous time is going to be the first 4 weeks.
Redelmeyer says concussion patients are advised to get out of the house and do moderate activities as they recover, but he urges extreme caution whether you're driving or walking in traffic. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
We have just one milestone to pass along today. It's a 70th anniversary for Bertha and Harold Boutlier of Halifax. What a fantastic then photo taken 70 years ago today. Congratulations to you. And if you want to see your milestone again or find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder that milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
Milestones, brought to you by the Berkeley Retirement Residences. Love this stage of life.
Well, it's 7:53 and time for a very special treat. We have our friends from Sale GP stopping by to celebrate the series of return to Halifax next year. So look who's here. It's Billy Gooderham from Sale GP Team Canada. I remember when you were here, gosh, many, many months ago, talking about the very first time that Sale GP was going to come to Halifax, and all of us were like, Sale GP, what the heck's that? And then in very short order, we're like, Sale GP, I can't wait. This is the best thing that's ever happened to our region. And we are so excited that you're coming back. You must be excited, too.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, it's great. It's the commute to work is a heck of a lot shorter than most of the other places I go, but the amount of support we get from everybody nationwide, and especially in the Maritimes here, is fantastic.
You must have been blown away at how Halifax just bit onto this sport and just wouldn't let go. We loved it when you came 2 years ago.
I mean, the thing is we have such a huge maritime culture here, and being out on the water is such a big part of that. So, yeah, but the support from the general public has been fantastic, and just seeing everybody really get on board has been great.
These are images taken from the last time you were here. Just some fast action. We love how close you get to come to the people. That makes our particular venue in Halifax special.
Yes, it does. It's, I mean, for us on the boat, being that close to the wharf and going the speeds that we go sometimes gets the hair on the back of your neck up. But no, it's a great venue. We love it, and the fan support's fantastic.
All right, we would want to let people know that tickets for the event. When is it happening, first of all, Billy?
So the event will be June 20 and 21 next year, and then so we had the ticket pre-sale that sold out in under an hour on Monday, and then the general public tickets go on sale tomorrow.
That's fantastic. We've put the website on ours to make it easy for you to find, so snap them up quickly. Anything else you need people to know before, you know, to get ready, like if they want these tickets?
They're gonna go fast.
They're gonna go
Yeah,
fast.
so make sure you go to the Sale GP website and make sure you're sort of online and ready when they get released, because last time we were here, they sold out in under 12 minutes.
Amazing.
So,
All right,
yeah.
Billy, thanks for coming in. We hope to see you again soon.
Yes, anytime.
We
Thank
have
you for
put that
having me.
info on our website, and Latavia, we want to know the forecast for now.
Taking a look at our 3-day forecast for New Brunswick, looking at a high of 4 degrees today. We do have some isolated flurries starting off the day that will clear, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. And then on Thursday, a high of 6, much of the same, a bit of sunshine, but also isolated flurries remain. And then on Friday, a high of 2 degrees with lots of sunshine across the province. For Nova Scotia, looking at a high of 7, mixed precipitation expected early in the day, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. On Thursday, a high of 6 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud with periods of rain for Cape Breton Island. And then on Friday, really cooling down to 3 degrees, isolated showers for parts of the province, and sunshine for the rest. Prince Edward Island looking at mixed precipitation as well. Starting off the day, clearing, leaving sunshine with a high of 5. On Thursday, showers across the island with a high yet again of 5 degrees. On Friday, 3 degrees with isolated showers.
Wednesday, November 12th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, a taste of winter, light snowfall, making for a slick morning commute in some parts of the region. Top news headlines and the forecast just ahead.
And festive food and drinks. Holiday entertaining will be here before you know it. We'll get some easy ideas, sure to wow your guests. Well, I can't wait for that. That's coming up in this half hour of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. It is 8:01, Wednesday, November 12th. Thank you so much for making us a part of your morning. Amanda, Crystal, and Latavia with you. It's been a busy morning, a fun one, too. We're still collecting your text messages at 10-400 about some of the bands that you or performers you've seen multiple times over the years. And I'm starting to see a common theme as well in some of the answers. Yeah.
Are they all Blue Rodeo?
I was just going to say.
There's a lot of Blue Rodeo, a lot. And I would have to say, too, and this makes sense for East Coasters, the performers that we often see return to the region quite a bit.
Nice.
Johnny Reed, too. That's another big one as well we're hearing. So, yeah, 10-400 is the number. You can send us a text.
Want to hear a joke? Yesterday, I said to Kyle, I'm like, I don't know who Blue Rodeo is. He's like, oh! And then he started singing some of the songs. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know them. I know them.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, like, listening along music. You know, it really is. And they do come a fair bit.
Yeah,
although
they
not
do.
So much lately. Like this 40th anniversary tour has been a good one, been popular. Anywho, music, like I said, will lift your spirits when conditions outside are challenging. And for some, it's challenging. Others love it.
Yep. Start singing those Christmas carols. Brighten up your days. We are seeing a cooler start to the day right across the board and still seeing some mixed precipitation starting off your day as well. Here's a live look at McAdam. You can see some snow on the ground. It is currently 0 in your area, so a very cool start to the day. We did see some isolated flurries early in the morning. Already clearing out, you will be seeing clouds continue to clear as well, leaving a mix of sun and cloud in your area. Sunshine will return into the afternoon for parts of the Maritime region, but starting off, quite cold today. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. Bundle up. 0 in Fredericton and in Halifax, 2 degrees in Sydney, 1 currently in Charlottetown, -6 in Labrador City, and 7 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. A wind warning remains in effect. Wind gusts of up to 80 to 100 kilometers per hour expected for parts of Newfoundland. Parts of Labrador seeing a snowfall warning. Could see around 20 centimeters of snow accumulation. Here's a look at that current system tracking across the region. As of right now, Newfoundland and Labrador will see the heaviest of that mixed precipitation. But for the Maritime region, starting off with some isolated showers and or flurries, clearing for the most part, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the mid to late afternoon. As for our wind, it is going to remain quite breezy today, something to also keep in mind if you are heading out. 63 kilometers per hour starting off your day in North Cape with 50 into Grand Etang, 46 in Greenwood with 39 in Halifax. Wind gusts getting up to 85 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 63 in Grand Etang, 65 in Greenwood, and 54 in Halifax. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast ahead, but first another look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. That's where we begin. If you haven't switched to winter tires yet, you may want to give yourself some extra time on the roads this morning. The snow is falling in the Halifax area this hour, covering roadways and making them slick. It is light, but it's still the first taste of snowfall for the season, resulting in a slowdown in the morning commute. Daytime highs today will be above freezing, so this snow isn't expected to stick around. Latavia will have more details in her full forecast after our next break. Also, due to the weather, some ferry crossings in the region canceled for today. Northumberland Ferry says planned crossings at 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. out of Wood Island's PEI. Those are canceled. Company also canceled the 8:30 a.m. and 11:45 a.m. trips out of Caribou, Nova Scotia. And for Marine Atlantic, between North Sydney and Port aux Basques, crossings between 6:30 a.m., 11:45 a.m. and 5:45 p.m. Those are canceled for today. Beginning today, anyone entering the IWK Health Center in Halifax will have to wear a mask. The organization says this applies to staff, visitors, and patients. Masks now required in all of the IWK's public spaces and in all areas where patient care is provided. In a social media post, the IWK says, as we move into viral respiratory season, this is to enhance protection for all. Masks will be made available at all IWK Health Center entrances. PEI Liberal leader Robert Mitchell will run in the province's by-election for the Georgetown seat. Mitchell served as an MLA from 2007 to 2020 and has held cabinet positions such as health minister. The by-election was called after former cabinet minister Stephen Myers resigned back in October. Voters will head to the polls on December 8th, and the deadline for candidate nominations is November 21st. Nova Scotia's Tree for Boston will be cut down in a ceremony later this morning. The 45-foot white spruce is in Lunenburg County. It was nominated by the former property owners, Ronald and Claire Feener. That ceremony will begin at 10:30 a.m. in Martinsbrook with Boston's Mayor Michelle Wu in attendance. The tree has been an annual gift to the city as a gesture of thanks for support after the Halifax explosion in 1917. CTV's Katie Kelly will MC and will have coverage tonight on CTV News at 6. Finally, walking is very good for your health. We know that. But how about a month-long loop around Prince Edward Island? CTV's Maria Saru caught up with some Canadians making the trek to find out what they learned along the way.
Boots on red soil and one step after another. Veteran Sheldon White finished part of the island walk this fall, a 707-kilometer loop around PEI as a personal challenge.
The military experience helped a little bit because I was familiar with going on long marches, but it was more challenging than I expected.
White flew airlifters for search and rescue and served a tour in Afghanistan before returning to the island to teach engineering. The former commander says out here, the mission is simple but not easy.
Walking for 5 hours straight without a break is actually fairly hard, and then to do that multiple times. I have a lot of respect for the people who've done the entire walk.
Much of the island walk runs right here on the Confederation Trail. Some tackle it by foot, others by bike, with many finding hard-earned healing along the way.
It's been a hell of a trip. Sandra Cernowski from Winnipeg walked for 32 days, carrying profound personal loss.
I wanted to find out who I was after my husband passed away, after his battle with cancer.
All around, there were signs he was walking with her.
So this penny here, can you see it? There was a day on the trail and I looked down and I found a penny. I picked it up and I looked really close and it said 1972 on it. And my husband was born in 1972.
Bryson Guptill created the Island Walk in 2019 after finishing a couple long treks in Europe. He wanted to give Canadians the experience closer to home.
When you walk for over a month and you're carrying everything you own on your back, it's a very, very cleansing experience.
Back on the road, White aims to finish the walk next year. Maria Saru, CTV News, Charlottetown.
Thank you for that report.
Yeah, fascinating.
Yeah, beautiful conditions there too for the walk.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
All right, this is something that I just wanted to show you because it's quite extraordinary visually. It's not unusual to witness an eruption at Hawaii's Mount Kilauea, but it is unusual to see an eruption and a tornado-like swirl of weather at the same time.
Oh my.
These images capture that. They were taken by a hiker at Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. So that's the weather event. So it's kind of like the cyclone for the Wizard of Oz at the same time as a volcanic eruption.
Wow.
What?
Very cool.
It didn't have any implication as far as like causing damage, but it just was something cool to see.
Oh my gosh.
And they
What
put
a
this
sight.
fun little like xylophone music with it too, and it really strange vibe.
Apparently, yeah.
I feel like I have to be so cautious with what I see on social media.
But there,
you know?
there's a
Oh my goodness, yeah.
But there's Mount Kilauea. Well, the quality of it wasn't that great. Like you can tell, it was just the video of a person capturing it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm gonna hope that assume it's not AI.
Yeah.
It's real.
It's a real stuff. What is also real, too, is Latavia's full look at the forecast on this Wednesday. And we say good morning to our viewers in Antigonish, some cloudy skies there. We'll be right back. After this, I'll also have your national news headlines.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:13. Taking a live look at Peggy's Cove. Looks like the ocean is a bit choppy this morning. It's quite cold over there as well. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. We are going to see cool temperatures right across the board today. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. As you can see here, quite a cold start, so layer up before heading out. -1 in Edmonton and in Bathurst, 1 degree in Fredericton, 0 in Charlottetown and in Halifax, 2 degrees in Sydney, and 7 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Holding on to that wind warning that remains in effect for parts of Newfoundland, looking at wind gusts between 80 to 100 kilometers per hour this morning. And a snowfall warning also in effect for parts of Labrador. At its heaviest, could see around 20 centimeters. Over to our forecast timeline, you can see that mixed precipitation tracking across parts of the Maritime region, looking at a chance of showers and or flurries starting off the day. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, seeing the heaviest of that system situated in those provinces, looking at snow and or showers, and also seeing shower activity across much of Newfoundland. And then into the afternoon, we're looking at some clearing, leaving a bit of sunshine across parts of all 3 maritime provinces, still holding on to a bit of mixed precipitation for parts of Cape Breton Island, and still seeing that system over Newfoundland and Labrador. Then into the evening and overnight hours, we are going to see another system move in, bringing showers as we head towards early Thursday morning. Mixed precipitation also expected into your day for Thursday. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, only going to see around 2 to 5 millimeters of additional precipitation for mainland Nova Scotia and the southern region. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, looking at around 2 to 20 millimeters of that additional precipitation expected. And then for our snowfall outlook, we are going to see light amounts for parts of Cape Breton Island and seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters for parts of both Newfoundland and Labrador. Starting off the day with a chance of flurries for New Brunswick, that will clear, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Daytime highs will range from 2 to 7 degrees and wind gusts of up to 50. Prince Edward Island looking at chance of flurries and or showers starting off the day, also clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, mixed precipitation also starting off your day, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. And same thing goes for the rest of Nova Scotia, with highs between 7 to 8 degrees and wind gusts of up to 60. And then for Labrador City, looking at a high of -6 with periods of snow throughout your day and a chance of showers for St. John's, Newfoundland with a high of 9. Over the next couple of days, we are going to see temperatures really begin to cool down as we inch towards the end of the work week. We do have a bit of chance of showers for parts of the Maritime region and seeing heavier showers for parts of Cape Breton Island and Newfoundland. And then into the evening hours, we are going to see another round of somewhat weather heading our way with mixed precipitation as well, and temperatures really cooling down on Friday. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Top diplomats from the G7 countries are gathering in Ontario today and tomorrow. Canadian Foreign Minister Anita Anand is hosting U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and their counterparts from Britain, France, Germany, Italy, and Japan. Anand also has invited the foreign ministers of Australia, Brazil, India, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, South Korea, South Africa, and Ukraine. The meeting comes after the U.S. ended trade talks with Canada when the Ontario provincial government ran an anti-tariff ad.
Meeting global challenges requires global partnerships. The issues we are facing transcend the G7 and our borders. And this is why it is absolutely vital that we have diverse geographic representation around the table.
Today, broader discussions began with the collective, and Anand is set to meet one-on-one with Marco Rubio. Chaotic scene at another global summit, the United Nations COP30 climate conference in Brazil. Dozens of protesters clashed with security guards as they tried to force their way into the summit's main venue. There were no serious injuries reported. Ghislaine Maxwell, who is serving 20 years for trafficking underage girls for convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, is reportedly preparing a request to the Trump administration for clemency. And there are also allegations she's getting special treatment behind bars. CTV's Joy Malvin has more.
Outside this prison camp in Texas, Ghislaine Maxwell is reportedly working on her freedom. The convicted sex trafficker plans to ask President Donald Trump to commute her prison sentence. That's according to the top Democrat on the congressional committee investigating Jeffrey Epstein's criminal network. Congressman Jamie Raskin says a whistleblower detailed that and a list of Maxwell's prison perks, from playing with puppies to computer use.
The whistleblower made clear that Ghislaine Maxwell is just in a completely different category than every other prisoner. She gets essentially room service behind bars. She can use the shower. She can use the gym whenever she wants to.
The family of Virginia Giuffre are horrified. In Virginia's posthumous memoir, she called Maxwell a sexual predator who trafficked her to rich and powerful men, alleging the former Prince Andrew sexually abused her when she was just a minor.
If King Charles can strip Andrew of the prince title over just affiliations, why is our president not definitively ruling out a convicted sex trafficker of minors, of children?
Donald Trump's lawyer interviewed Maxwell in federal prison last July after she claimed President Trump was not involved in any illegal activities. Maxwell was suddenly transferred to this prison camp. Congressman Raskin claims the whistleblower says the warden there is helping Maxwell apply for her freedom.
Ghislaine Maxwell is actively seeking a commutation, a pardon from the president right now.
The White House says it doesn't comment on potential clemency requests, but the president has said before of Maxwell that he has not ruled out a pardon.
CTV's Joy Malvin reporting in Washington. Also in the U.S., new travel frustration for many in that country, even with an end in sight to the government shutdown. The Federal Aviation Administration reduced flights by 6% to help with staffing shortages because of unpaid traffic controllers who were not coming into work. That will increase to 10% of flights by the end of the week. The Senate has passed a deal to fund the government through January 30th, and a vote in the House is expected today. It is the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. We're going to take a quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. Lots more to come in the next 40 minutes. We hope you'll stay with us. We'll be right back.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back. It's 8:23. And for many of us, one of the best things about the holiday season are all the delicious festive food and drinks. And you know what makes them even better? When they take your taste buds on a little trip around the world. So here to share some tasty ideas that could also serve as travel inspiration is our partner and livestock contributor, Jennifer Weatherhead Harrington. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning. And you're right, it's the perfect time to start talking about all those yummy foods and drinks that we have during the holidays.
Well, I love that you've really shown up today looking festive and your display is festive. Where do you want to begin our journey around the world?
We're going to actually begin at HomeSense because it's like, you know, one of my favorite places to go during the holidays because it's kind of a one-stop shop for getting food and drink gift ideas, but also you get to take that trip around the world when you're there as well. So they have everything that's perfect. If you want to do, you know, a little cozy thing for yourself at home, or if you have to go to a holiday party, you need a hostess gift, or you just want to give the gift of some food and treats as well. They have incredible gift baskets. They have chocolates from Italy and Switzerland and Belgium. They have little English biscuits that you can get. They have holiday flavored coffee and even a coffee advent calendar. Lots of hot chocolate options with different flavors. You can get little gift baskets of different types of tea with mugs. And you can also get some charcuterie boards, cheese boards, serving trays. Those make excellent hostess gifts if you're, you know, off to a holiday party. So it's really the perfect spot to go to get everything you need related to food and drink when it comes to the holidays.
It looks like it. Many great suggestions there, and many of them are all wrapped and ready to go. Just, I'm in a rush. I'm going to pop by, grab it, and head off to my event. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, right in front of you, I see some gorgeous Italian items. So we must be going to Italy on this trip.
We are, because I think that going to Italy is always a good idea.
Yes.
Never a bad idea to go to Italy, right? But it's also a really great way to elevate your holiday hosting and your holiday party. So we're talking about prosciutto di Parma. So you want to make sure that you're getting the authentic prosciutto di Parma, because that is where you're going to get the best taste and the best flavor. So it's 100% natural, nitrite free, free from hormones, preservatives, additives. You want to make sure that you're looking for that logo that says prosciutto di Parma, and look for the stamp that says protected designated origin. That's going to let you know that it is the authentic one. And then you can update and elevate your holiday party by doing just a little crostini here. I have some goat cheese with some confit tomatoes on there, and then half a slice of prosciutto di Parma with some basil. If you want to do something a little bit sweet and savory, you can do crostini with ricotta, some fig jam, and again, half a slice of prosciutto di Parma. Perfect way to do it. You can get it at Sobeys. You can get it prepackaged at Costco. So it's really easy to get and just make you feel a little bit more special.
Yeah, oh, that's the good stuff. No, that looks absolutely great. Okay, and then finally, what if we feel like a little trip to the tropics during this cold weather season?
Who doesn't want to do that, right? I mean, it's so cold already. I always think that Bacardi is kind of like the quintessential holiday drink option, Bacardi rum. And they have Bacardi Ocho, which is so nicely spiced. And we're going to make a little twist on like a festive, I would say, pina colada here. So we're going to make the Bacardi Ocho Coquito. And what you do is take 1 ounce each of condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk, evaporated milk, coconut milk, and coconut cream. And then you're going to add in 2 ounces of the Bacardi Ocho rum, which is going to give it that nice spicy flavor. Stir that all up, and you're going to pour that into your glass and add some cinnamon and some nutmeg to make it feel a little more festive. And I just love Bacardi because it's been, you know, aging and making this incredible rum since 1862 in the Caribbean. And it's just been passed down through generations and generations. And you know that it's really authentic and just tastes great every single time you have it.
Yeah, and what you've done there with the different kind of creams, the coconut cream and everything, is you created a winter drink with this festive tropical feel. Like somehow you brought it all together, Jed, but it just looks amazing. What does it taste like?
Bacardi for that.
Yeah, thanks Bacardi for that.
Like
you made it. What does it taste like?
It tastes like a really decadent pina colada, but with like that little holiday twist and flavor to it, which is just so warming and cozy. And it's perfect to have by the fire, I think. You're wrapping some gifts, you're having some people over. Perfect option.
Jennifer Weatherhead Harrington, I love the way you roll. Thank you so much for these great suggestions today.
Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. All right, it is now 8:28. We'll take a little break. You can let's just sit with what we just heard. That was some fun ideas. We'll be back in about 2 minutes' time.
Still ahead this morning, exploring Bohemian landmarks. Katie Kelly got to do it recently, and you could too if you're the winner of a great new contest from our friends on CTV News at 5. That's coming up here in 15 minutes on CTV's Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. Time now is 8:31. We're getting close to the end of the show, which is wild because it feels like it's been flying by today.
Yeah,
it really has.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine if you'd be flying to the Bahamas?
Oh,
with that trip?
With this weather, I would love that. It would be a dream.
Yeah. One thing I love to do is when people go on vacation, I'm never like mad when they share photos and videos of their vacation. I love to go along. And so Katie, this trip to Bahamas, like we're right there with you, Katie. Like this has been so much fun.
Just love the heat of the sun.
Yeah. And some Bahamas, just a little different, a little special. That hotel yesterday. And
oh my goodness, incredible.
Wow.
Incredible. Yeah. And you could go there with this contest. Super exciting. But until then, we're talking about some messy weather today.
Exactly. I was going to say, if there's ever a time to book that trip to Bahamas, it's now, because it's a reminder that winter is going to be here really before.
Yeah, I don't want it. Let's just skip it this year. Let's have Christmas and then skip the rest.
Sure. Oh my gosh.
Here's a look at Somerville early this morning. A gloomy start to your day and cold at that. So keep that in mind when you are heading out early this morning on your commute. As of right now, we are seeing a chance of showers and flurries for parts of the region. Something else to keep in mind when you head out. You may want to allow some extra time on your morning commute. 1 degree heading outdoors in Fredericton, 0 starting off your day in both Charlottetown and Halifax, 2 degrees in Sydney, and 7 into St. John's, Newfoundland. A wind warning remains for parts of Newfoundland this morning, looking at wind gusts between 80 to 100 kilometers per hour. And a part of a snowfall warning remains for Labrador, expecting snow at times heavy throughout your day today. So this low pressure system is situated over Newfoundland and Labrador, the heaviest of that system. And then for the Maritime region, still seeing a chance of flurries and or showers starting off your day. For the most part, we will be seeing clearing into the afternoon, leaving sunshine, but also another system will wrap back around. Over to the current wind across the Maritime region, going to remain strong throughout your day out of the west and southwest this morning. 63 kilometers per hour in North Cape with 52 into Grand Etang. 37 in Lunenburg, 39 in Greenwood, and 30 in Edmonton. Wind gusts getting up to 74 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 70 this morning in Grand Etang, 65 in Greenwood with 57 in Sydney. We'll have one last look at your long-range forecast, but first, one last look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia, and we are sticking with the weather. If you haven't switched to winter tires yet, you may want to give yourself some extra time on the roads this morning. The snow is falling in the Halifax area this hour, covering roadways and making them slick. Now, it is light, but it's still the first taste of snowfall for the season, resulting in a slowdown in the morning commute. Daytime highs today will be above freezing, so the snow is not expected to stick around. Latavia will have one last look at the full forecast coming up after our next break. Also, because of the weather, some ferry crossings in the region are canceled. Northumberland Ferries canceled the 7 a.m. crossing from Wood Islands PEI and is also canceling the 10 a.m. crossing. In Caribou, Nova Scotia, the 8:30 a.m. crossing and 11:45 a.m. crossings have been canceled. And between Nova Scotia and Newfoundland and Labrador, the crossings at 6:30 a.m., 11:45 a.m. and 5:45 p.m. between North Sydney and Port aux Basques, those have also been canceled. Beginning today, anyone entering the IWK Health Centre in Halifax will have to wear a mask. The organization says this applies to staff, visitors, and patients. Masks are required in all of the IWK's public spaces and in all areas where patient care is provided. In a social media post, the IWK says we move into viral respiratory season. This is to enhance protection for all. If you don't have a mask, masks will be available at all IWK Health Centre entrances. And as the temperature drops, the number of flu cases often goes up. There are warnings about the current strain of influenza and how this year's vaccine might not completely protect you. For more on this, we bring in CTV Scott Hurst. Scott, health experts are saying we should be in for a tougher flu season this year with a new strain on the rise. What can you tell us?
Good morning, Amanda. Of course, it is that time of year you'll start to hear a lot more coughing and wheezing. And here is the concern heading into flu season. You have a potentially severe strain, concerns about fewer people getting the vaccine protection, and the vaccine itself that might not be an ideal fit. And put it all together, it could be a recipe for a bad flu season in Canada. While cases remain low at this point, of course, being so early in the season, they are trending upwards, with the latest national numbers showing more than 430 confirmed cases of influenza in the past week, just about 2% of tests being positive. But as I mentioned, trending upwards. Alberta has also recorded its first flu death of the season. Here's more from Dr. Fahad Razak from St. Michael's Hospital here in Toronto about the concerns ahead.
The specific strain we're worried about this year is called H3N2. It tends to have more severe seasons. And so that's the worry, that the Australian data plus the strain that's circulating suggests that Canada could have a very tough season.
So, Amanda, you heard the doctor there reference the numbers coming out of Australia. While not a direct indicator, countries in the north often look to the south for clues on what the upcoming flu season might be like. And in Australia specifically, that country posted record-breaking flu numbers as vaccination rates have stalled, and in some demographics, they've even slipped, going so far as the Royal Australian College of GPs putting out a warning that this should be a wake-up call to everybody.
Oh, wow. And health experts, they've indicated the vaccines currently in distribution, they might not be a good match to defend against this emerging strain. So how important is it to still get vaccinated if that's the case?
Amanda, medical health professionals argue it is still the best option to get vaccinated, still incredibly important, not just for yourself and the potential to create less of a burden on hospitals and emergency rooms. Even if it's not a perfect match or an ideal fit, doctors say some protection is still better than no protection, You might still get sick, but you might be protected from pneumonia and much more severe outcomes that could require hospitalization. And so from the perspective of the medical community, of course, there's a protection for yourself, but a potentially bad flu season, along with other respiratory illnesses like RSV and COVID, it could add greater strain on hospitals and emergency departments already under severe strain, Amanda.
Good point. Scott, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thanks. Have a great day.
You too. CTV Scott Hurst reporting live for us from our national newsroom in Toronto. Finally, we're going to look up to the skies, especially last night, because you could have seen something quite beautiful, the Northern Lights. Take a look at these photos we have. They were taken by viewer Brian Muldoon from Brooklyn, Nova Scotia. So experts in this field, they say a wave of powerful solar storms is lighting up skies right across North America this week. So if you didn't see it last night, there is a chance that you could see it later tonight. And apparently these eruptions mean the Northern Lights, it could be visible as far south as California and Alabama.
It's a big one.
I know, if you can stay up late enough to see them.
Well, we're up early, so we might be able to see it.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look. Okay. We just want to remind people that Hairy Legs, it's a film by Halifax filmmaker Andrea Dorfman. You can now see it for free. She just got back
Somehow
from tour
Christine
in
always
North
knew
America.
what was up next, and I always followed her lead. Being a woman isn't so
Yeah, so here's the film. Hairy Legs is a stop-motion and hand-painted short that tells a hilarious and heartwarming tale of girlhood from the Emmy-nominated filmmaker. The 16-minute short has won 7 awards nationally and internationally, and that's just so far. Hairy Legs is now streaming for free across nfb.ca, YouTube, and NFB platforms in Canada and the U.S. Andrea was on our show. She was wonderful. She actually visited us before she went out on the tour, and she just crushed it internationally. So
wow.
If you wanted to see the film, now you can. It won't cost you a nickel.
Instead of doom scrolling for 16 minutes.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Totally.
Really great to watch.
So that leads us into community calendar. What else is going on?
Well, we have a lot of festive events taking place. We'll take a look. You can head over to St. John to kick off the holiday season at Rhoda's Christmas Festival of Crafts, Antiques, Art, and Food. The 50th anniversary of the show will take place at the Irving Oil Field House from Friday, November 14th until the 16th. There will be endless handmade creations, delicious food, hourly door prizes, and so much more. For additional information, head over to their Facebook event page. And you can enjoy delicious baked goods, creative cards, ornaments, signs, wreaths, and more at this year's Eastern Kings Christmas Market in Surrey. The event takes place this Saturday at the Eastern Kings Community Center from 10 to 2 p.m. Check out more information on their Facebook event page. And this weekend, you can come out and support Christmas Daddies in Port Hawkesbury. There will be a fundraising event held Sunday, November 16th from 2 to 6 p.m. There will be performances and so much more. All is required is a donation at the door. For more details, head over to the Christmas Daddies website. And if you do have an upcoming event, please send us the details. We'd love to promote it. Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca.
Awesome. I just want to shout out, Latavia, you do a great job with the community calendar.
Thanks, I try.
Banger after banger.
I know, I was just thinking that too. I'm like, I get so many good ideas because of the community calendar.
Well, you ladies help me out too, because sometimes it's hard to find events, and we like to cover as much of the region as we can.
Yeah, send them our way because it really does help Latavia out, and we love to share them.
So true. Okay, another break here, but coming up, let's go to the Bahamas.
Okay.
You could take a trip there. CTV News at 5 has a great new contest that could see you enjoying an amazing island vacation. Stay with us. We're exploring some landmarks when we return.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 8:44. A bit of sunshine starting off your day over in Port aux Basques. 3 degrees early this morning. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. It's quite cold. You can see the ferry docked this morning because it's not running today. Keep in mind it is quite cold right across the region today. We are going to see cooler temperatures start to move in over the next couple of days, inching towards the end of the work week. As of right now, early this morning, 1 degree in Fredericton, 0 starting off your day in Charlottetown and in Halifax, 4 degrees in Yarmouth with 3 into Sydney, -6 in Labrador City, and 7 degrees starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. Still have A wind warning in effect for parts of Newfoundland. Wind gusts could range from 80 to 100 kilometers per hour, as well as that snowfall warning for parts of Labrador. Snow at its heaviest could get up to 20 centimeters. Here's a closer look at that system currently tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada, bringing the heaviest of this system to Newfoundland and Labrador, seeing periods of snow as well as mixed precipitation across Newfoundland. Into the Maritime region, looking at a chance of flurries and showers early this morning, a bit wet across Prince Edward Island. We will be seeing a bit of clearing into the afternoon, leaving us some sunshine for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Still going to see snow for parts of Cape Breton Island. And then into the evening and overnight hours, another low will make its way over, bringing showers into the evening hours. Early Thursday morning, we do expect mixed precipitation to move back in as well. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters of additional precipitation for parts of Nova Scotia, looking at around 5 to 20 for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. In terms of our snowfall outlook, seeing light amounts for parts of Cape Breton Island and looking at 1 to 5 across both Newfoundland and Labrador. Here's our forecast today for New Brunswick, starting off the day with a chance of flurries clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Daytime highs between 2 to 7 degrees and wind gusts of up to 50. Prince Edward Island looking at highs between 5 to 6 degrees today. A chance of flurries and or showers starting off the day. That will clear as well, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Wind gusts of up to 70. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing applies. We're looking at some mixed precipitation starting off your day. Clearing for parts of this part of the province, leaving a bit of sunshine. For the rest of Nova Scotia, a chance of flurries and or showers starting off your day, and then into the afternoon, seeing a mix of sun and cloud as well. For Labrador City, periods of snow today with a high of -6 and 9 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a chance of showers throughout your day. Into Thursday's forecast, temperatures are really going to start cooling down as we get closer to the weekend. Much cooler there as well. And we do have some chance of showers moving in across parts of the Maritime region. Into Cape Breton Island, a little bit heavier of that precipitation. Same thing goes for parts of Newfoundland. And then into the evening on Thursday, we will be seeing mixed precipitation return, taking us into early Friday morning. Much of the same and really cool temperatures ending off the work week, Crystal.
Thanks, Latavia. It's 8:47. Now, as we told you yesterday, our friends on CTV News at 5 have a great new contest that could see you winning an amazing trip to the Bahamas. Katie Kelly visited the Bahamas recently to highlight what a great vacation destination it is, and she got to explore some of the island's most iconic landmarks.
Today, our journey begins at Fort Charlotte. Not just one of the best scenic viewpoints in Nassau, but an important piece of the island's history.
In the 18th century, this served as a protector during the battleground period here in the Bahamas.
It's a glimpse into the country's colonial past and stands as a symbol of strength.
It was built during the time of Governor Dunmore, and it was named after Sahara Charlotte, who would have been the wife of George III.
These days, it's a must-see stop for visitors.
Here at Fort Charlotte, there's a store market where people can buy souvenirs upon their visit after they come out of the tours. And coming back here to the site soon, our own gift shops.
Just down the road, another landmark literally carved from history.
When they come here and they see this place, they say, wow, like, it's so amazing.
One of the most visited historic sites in the Bahamas, the Queen's Staircase. It's a 66-step passageway hand-carved by enslaved people in the late 1700s.
Naming it Tandram, meaning an African freedom at last.
Today, the peaceful site, including a tranquil waterfall, is named in honor of Queen Victoria.
Bahamas experience, you could find true romance. So much to see, so much to do. Come along, I'll share it with you.
Of course, no trip through Nassau's past would be complete without a stop at John Watling's distillery, a local favorite offering a true taste of the Bahamas. Each day, a cannon fires at noon. Is everybody ready? And signals the island's history is still very much alive. The estate offers tours through every step of the rum-making process.
We are at the We Learning Rum Academy, and today you're doing the mixology course, where you learn how to make 3 signature John Watling's cocktails.
It's a perfect mix of history with a splash of bohemian spirit.
Well, they definitely love drinking, yeah, but just learning about how rum is processed, how we make our rum, and just getting a little piece of the Bahamas, they really love that as well.
And yes, you can even bottle and label your own rum. And to feel the heartbeat of modern-day Nassau, head downtown to the Straw Market, home to dozens of artisans selling handmade souvenirs that capture the island's creative soul.
The straw is called the silver palm, and it's a very strong straw in the Bahamas. You can put anything in it, big or small, and it doesn't break through.
This is one of the oldest Bahamian art forms, crafted by families who've passed their skills down for generations.
45 years. I've learned from my mom. She was the excellent lady doing this business. Now she's passed on, so I'm doing it now.
Every corner of this island has a story to tell, and every smile reminds you why visitors keep coming back.
Thank you so much, Katie. Now, CTV and the islands of the Bahamas have teamed up to send you on a tropical vacation. One lucky viewer and a guest will win round-trip direct airfare from Halifax to Nassau. The 7-night stay also includes meal vouchers and a day trip to the Blue Lagoon Island, where you'll experience an intimate dolphin encounter, plus so much more. Each day from now until Friday, we'll give you a new keyword, and once you have it, head to ctvatlantic.ca and follow the contest prompts, or scan this QR code you see on your screen right now. You can enter once per keyword, and the winner will be announced November 21st. So today's keyword is... it's lifetime. There it is. So all you have to do is enter that, and you've got a chance to win. We're going to take a little break. It's 8:51. Enter while we're in break. We'll be back in 2 minutes to wrap up the show.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. This is the time we wrap up the show and also share your text messages to the Move Morning Chat. So today we're asking who is an artist or a band that you've seen multiple times in concerts. And you guys got to keep out for each other, because a lot of you have been to the same concerts and have the same tastes, okay? Wonder if you travel around together. Let's start with Sandra from Bedford. The band I've seen most is Great Big Sea, now Alan Doyle. I've seen them a few more times than Michael Bublé and Blue Rodeo, who I have seen equally as many times.
Wow. Those are great choices.
Great choices. You're in good company too. Joyce says, I've been blessed with many shows, but most special to me was Chris Christopherson 2 times, Kenny Chesney 2 times, Blue Rodeo 3 times, Dean Brody 3 times, and Dallas Smith 4.
Wow.
Joyce likes her concerts.
She likes the concert.
Yeah, she does. And Aaron from St. John says, I just saw Sloan a couple weeks ago for probably the 7th or 8th time at the Imperial Theatre in St. John. They're great live.
Wow.
They're great. Yeah, I've seen them. They're putting on a great show.
Imperial Theatre is a great venue, too. Johnny Reed was a big answer. Scott from Millville says, I've been to 3 shows. You really get into the music from the start of the show right until the end. Great entertainer.
I've heard that he is great.
Good holiday shows, too. Patty says, I love going to Canadian country music concerts. I've seen George Canyon, Johnny Reed, Terry Clark, and Paul Brandt many times. I think the best though was seeing Melissa Etheridge twice, once in Halifax and once in Moncton.
Oh, good call.
Yeah, good call. Shannon from Bedford, been to a lot of concerts. No one group or artist I've seen more times than the Rankin family or Jimmy Rankin. So much talent in Nova Scotia. Back in 2014, my friend and I worked the merch table at the Rebecca Cohen Auditorium.
Wow.
She sent a photo. I didn't have enough time to turn it around, but she's got a photo with Jimmy, too.
Oh, wow.
And she's beaming in it.
I love it.
Lindsay from Halifax has said, I've seen the Backstreet Boys 5 times, and the last time I saw them was in 2023. I met them in Montreal, and here's the photo to prove it. You'll see Lindsay there in the middle.
Oh,
She's
right
living your
beside my
dreams.
husband.
Right beside, on the left, you're an AJ fan, right? I love that photo.
That's
she says you can
great.
see. Okay, Stephanie has seen Blue Rodeo at least 35 to 40 times.
Okay. Wow.
Wow.
Stephanie.
Diehard fan.
Indeed.
She says we love them.
Wow.
Whoa. Yeah, I had to save that for last. Wow.
That's
incredible.
amazing.
So thank you to everyone who took the time. We had some new people sending us a text this morning at 10-400. We appreciate everyone. Couldn't get all the answers, but thanks for spending some time.
Love
with us.
hearing from you. Oh my gosh. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. Tomorrow we got a really great show with all kinds of fun stuff. We got Xanadu Senior, Best Buy will have some Black Friday sale items.
Yeah, and the Shoebox Project in Halifax too.
And another way to enter the Bahamas concert.
Oh
well,
my
another
gosh.
keyword that means.
And it's looking better than ever, isn't it, ladies? Bahamas.
Yeah, let's go.